everybody, and happy Canada Day. Welcome to QuarinTime. The time we're recording this, it is July the 1st, Canada's 153rd birthday, and us proud Canucks are very happy to be here talking to everybody who's listening. My name is Jack.
I'm Hunter. That's me.
And I'm Ethan.
That's him.
Yeah, thanks for introducing me.
Today we're here to just talk about a few movies.
3 movies specifically.
3 movies, yep.
If you watch the first episode, you know the formula.
Yeah, so...
If you haven't watched the first episode, let me give you a quick rundown. What happens is all of us watch... hold on.
2 movies.
Each of us watch 2 movies with the one guy being left out. It is then up to the 2 to explain to the one left out how the movie went, a few of the plot points, and give a brief review on what it is.
And that's it. That's the synopsis.
Yep, that
is it. And so, I guess we're going to start with Look Who's Back.
We're going to start with motherfucking Look Who's Back! Woo woo!
Who chose this movie?
Hunter.
Okay.
Oh, I got a story to tell you. So, the first time I ever saw this movie, it was a...
you were high as f***.
No, it was a New Year's party, so I was drunk as f***.
Okay.
And me and my friend, he was really into, like, World War II and all that. He was one of those guys in high school. And we were talking about Hitler, because it's always a fun subject to talk about.
You know, you always get on the topic of Hitler.
It always at New Year's parties, it's light of the party. So we were talking about this book, and it was called Look Who's Back. And then we were looking through Netflix just to watch something, and then we found Look Who's Back, the movie. And we were both like, whoa, what the shit? This looks kind of funny. We watched it, and our minds were blown. This is one of the most weirdly deepest and funniest movies I've ever watched, like, ever.
So
that's accurate to say. Yeah.
So can I say one thing before you guys start?
Yes.
When you said the title, Look Who's Back, I thought it was a fucking movie about rappers.
Like it's Eminem's biography.
Because you said nothing about the movie. You just said, oh yeah, Look Who's Back. That's the movie me and Jack are gonna watch. And I was like, okay. And then today you were like, yeah, Hitler's in it. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's a Hitler movie, Ethan. So I would like to just describe the main plot. I have this on IMDb. Just the brief synopsis as to what the hell the actual movie is. Adolf Hitler wakes up to find himself in the 21st century where his bunker used to be. With no memory of anything happening after 1945, interpreting modern situations from a Nazi perspective, he finds fame and success as a comedian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why does this sound like that? Jesus, it sounds like that f***ing stage show. I can't remember the movie. Continue.
Yeah. So, and it's okay. So the movie starts exactly how I literally just described it. He wakes up in like just a little grassy field where his bunker used to be.
So he wasn't shot in the head.
No, time travel apparently.
What's this fucking Red Alert 3?
No, this is Look Who's Back. We've already established this, Ethan.
Fucking asshole.
So it's like the movie's kind of like I always forget his name. It's weird. I always like to Borat. It's like a Borat situation where it's a guy.
That is exactly what I wrote down.
Yeah,
that is exactly what I wrote down. I wrote Borat-esque.
Yeah, it's just a guy dressed up as Hitler, and some parts of the movie are situations where he's doing something in like a public space and people are reacting to it, and it's real situations, and it's fun to watch that.
Wait, is it like Borat in the sense that like the other people in the movie are just random people?
Yes,
like
sometimes.
Real people?
Sometimes it's like that, and then sometimes it's acted scenes.
Okay.
So,
like
Ethan, the major plot elements are scripted because the synopsis in a nutshell is the plot. It's to show Hitler become a comedian, get famous, and be on television, become popular. Mm-hmm. Everything in between that is basically set up as them doing a cross-country journey across good old Deutschland and Germany, and this gentleman by the name of Sawatsky, who kind of discovers him in a way, who works for the television company. I discovered
Hitler.
And they go across the journey, just filming interactions with the people, how they react to Hitler, how they speak, and Hitler is is Hitler, of course.
Yeah.
And
I'm just thinking of the Family Guy joke where Hitler had a talk show.
You know what? It's kind of close to that. Like, but everyone, the best part about the movie is that it really encapsulates like us as a society where we won't take anything that's necessarily like harm. Like if we saw Hitler out on the streets today, we'd all go out, haha, look, it's Hitler. Let's take a picture and salute with him. But it's actually Hitler this time.
I don't know about that.
And like, but you would still make jokes and you wouldn't take it seriously. Like, oh my god, it's Hitler, and you run away.
No, I'd make jokes. Certain other people wouldn't.
Exactly, and they do touch on that as well. But it's like everyone takes it so they think it's satire. Everything he says, everyone thinks it's satire, and that's how he gets more and more and more popular with everyone. There's like, what was his name? Like Swatsky or whatever.
His name is Fabian Sawatsky, I believe.
Yeah, so Sawatsky is like, he's like this wannabe filmmaker who is trying to work for this YouTube ripoff. I forget it was called like u.com or something.
When did this movie come out?
2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So like he's trying to like get into this business. He's like, hey, I have this film about little kids playing soccer and their dad beats them. And he's like, and then the bald guy, I can't remember his name either. It's all Germany names, so I can't. Oh yeah, this whole film is Germany. Like it's not an English film.
I don't know why you just aren't calling the bald Klaus.
Is there a Klaus in the movie?
No, actually,
that's disappointing.
There isn't. There's a.
Yeah, but like, so like then he accidentally captures Hitler in one of his films, and then his mom points it out. He's like, you should follow that guy. And then, like, the guy finds Hitler in a newspaper shack that he's been working. It's fucking hilarious sometimes.
This is making me think of The Dictator more than Borat.
See, no, here's a perfect example of Borat-esque behavior. Is this what happens right now? So, like Hunter said before, he's right when he teleports, he's very confused. When he time travels, he's going up to people. He's like, "What's happening? Where am I?"
I'd be quite confused.
And this woman maces him in the face, and he, knocks out next to a newspaper stand. This guy takes him in and cleans him up a bit, and is trying to get his bearings, trying to let him know what's up. And after that point, he's like, "Dude, you stink. You gotta clean your clothes." And obviously, up to this point, it's been scripted. You can tell it's been scripted up to this point. Then now you can tell because the camera work is different. And
you mean it's more free cam?
Yeah.
In more free cam, much more free cam. And so Hitler walks into a dry clean store and proceeds to completely undress himself down, like, almost buck-ass.
Is he wearing the Hitler shorts?
No. He's wearing, like, his full SS, like, he's got his suits and he's got his officer's hat and the long coat and the boots and everything. And so he just goes into a dry clean store with other people in there and starts taking off his clothes and tries to give it to someone to wash it for him. They're like, "Yeah, no, we don't do underwear here. You gotta leave."
And he's like, "Wash my underwear."
He goes to another one, and he actually takes off the underwear and convinces the woman to actually wash his clothes. And he's like, "Well, I can't leave here like this now. Do you have anything I can wear?"
And then he leaves.
And then it cuts.
He
has to walk up the street wearing his officer's hat with like a bright yellow sweater with these pants from like the 1980s, these green puffy pants. It's just him walking along. And so there are moments like that in this movie where it's perfect. It gives a little bit of happiness to it.
Yeah.
And you forget you're watching Hitler.
Yeah. That's a really good thing that this movie does. It legit makes you forget that you're technically watching Hitler.
And so there's no problem with the movie. The movie is excellent. But you can start to see darker elements creep in, and I think they added it in nicely enough.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because we get to see Hitler interacting with like actual German people, like real people, not people who were part of the movie, but obviously they'd have to go get themselves signed or sign non-disclosure agreement, not NDAs, but like, sign off. So you can use my face, whatever, sure. And he goes and he sees other people and he talks to them and interacts with people. He talks about a lot of the political elements of what's going on. Like Hitler, throughout the film,
Hitler is very political.
Where he narrates to himself, where you can hear a present narration of the character about what he's going to do. So from like point A, day one, he's already talking about what party he's going to try to affiliate with, who he's going to speak to, how he's going to move forward. And the terrifying thing is,
people are agreeing with him.
People who are agreeing with his ideals.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to what happened in I believe it was 1933 when he was elected.
Yeah.
Because the current state of Germany is there's a lot of negative things happening. I'm assuming all the statistics were true at the time. I could be wrong.
Yeah, probably.
But it's a lot of people. It's quite unnerving to see the German people treat him as a bit of a joke, and it's even more horrifying to see German people agree with him.
And he's dressed like Hitler while doing it. It's not like when he got those like new clothing that like he shaved his mustache or whatever. It's like, no, he stays as the character and says like, hey, listen, if like I fix this problem, you get to like I'll be on my side. And people are like, yeah, I like that idea. There was this one part where he was talking to like a politician or whatever, and they're over dinner, and then afterwards they were like, I don't know what his name was, but it was a German politician that I don't know of. But they were outside, and they were just like, Hitler was like, so what do you think of my ideas? And the politician looked at the cameraman and went, turn that off. That's when like it was a weird like realization of the movie.
Yeah. No, because Hitler asks him, will you stand? I forget what the exact words were, but he's like, will you stand with me? And the guy says, turn that camera off. And the guy just points the camera down and still records the audio. And the politician just says, he's like, yes, I would follow you, or I would follow your ideals, blah, blah, blah. And it just goes to show, you know, how, and one major thing, one huge thing, which is arguably one of the most unnerving moments of the show, the movie, is when Hitler goes to some sort of very pro-German country, like college level group.
And that was a screwed up scene.
They're pounding their chest, screaming, "Oh yeah, you know, Deutschland, Deutschland, whatever." And then there was this one guy who was a protester.
Yeah.
And this one guy was a protester protesting it, and Hitler gets into an argument with this guy, calling him a dirty traitor, a swine, or whatever. And all the other young guys who are pro-Germany, pro-Deutschland, proceed to lynch this man.
They're like beating the fuck out of him. They're like putting bags over his head, and like Hitler, the actor, he doesn't break character. He's like, yeah, get him, he's a traitor.
Get him, yeah. And all these people signed for their likenesses to be used. And so, you know, throughout the movie, we're shown comedic bits to see that Hitler is still a person. We're shown that he's his charisma, obviously.
Yeah.
And a lot of it touches on the man himself, why his mustache is like that. We find out why he has that small mustache. It was because he would shave it so his gas mask could fit in the First World War. Because otherwise, with his long mustache, it would stick out, and it was harder for him. And then he just decided to keep the look.
Yeah, he had a Mario mustache, a big curly one.
Yeah, the actor was so dedicated that when they were talking about him and Sawatsky, when they went on the road trip, they're asking about, you know, what would you do if you weren't a politician? He says, "Oh, I was an artist. I would paint." And they said, "Really? Well, we could use some gas money or whatever." And so these two boys, Hitler and Sawatsky, set up an easel and say, "Have Hitler draw your caricature." And so this actor literally was able to draw real people's caricatures.
And it was not like, and he didn't pull any punches. Like if a black person was there, he'd just grab the pencil and just start going at it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of my favorite scene in this whole film, and it's hands down my favorite, is obviously we're all familiar with the meme on YouTube of Hitler freak out, of Hitler screaming.
I was about to talk about that. Oh my god.
And people putting the dubs of whatever they want him to say. Well, what happens with this television agency...
Hold on, Jack, hold on. Spoiler alert. This is the spoiler sound. That's it. Okay, continue talking.
I mean, it's pretty obvious we'd spoil everything.
I know, but I like the sound effect I use.
So about 2/3 of the way through this film, the very television company that was, you know, headlining Hitler, greenlighting him, whatever, well, they're not anymore. Because footage of Hitler doing something you know.
I want to talk about that scene first, actually. So during the whole like road trip situation, Sawatsky's like, I need to get you a dog. We need to get a dog. He's like, okay. So they go to this like weird dog farm, whatever. Sawatsky and the dog owner are talking amongst themselves. And in the background, you see Hitler playing with this little dog. And then the dog bites his finger. Goes, ow, motherfucker! Flings him away. The dog like bites his coat. He kicks him and then fucking shoots him. And it came out of nowhere. It was just bang. Oh god. And you don't think it's gonna show up later in the movie, but it does when he's on.
It does.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He's on like a television show because people are like unsure if Hitler's still like, oh, is he satire? Like, is this guy crazy? Whatever. And they show it's like a Stephen Colbert type thing where they're like, hey, can you explain this video? And it's the video of Hitler shooting the fucking dog.
And you know what the best thing is about that? The golden moment. Moments after, minutes after he kills the dog, we cut to them in the car, and Sawatsky and Hitler are yelling at each other, and he's like, give me your gun, you can't do that anymore. And then they focus back on the road, and everything's all well and good, and Hitler has the corpse of the dead dog, and he puts it over, and then he starts kissing Sawatsky with it. He's like, what's wrong with you? Man up, what is wrong with you? And the guy's freaking out as he's driving the car, losing his mind. Also, Hitler has found a new word.
I was about to say, I don't think we can talk about this scene because we're all three white guys.
Hunter, you go.
Okay, so Hitler's listening to the radio. He's like, what is this sound? Sawatsky's like, what do you mean? It's like, this sound. He's like, it's hip hop. And then
oh, God.
The N-word is repeated a couple of times.
Oh, I knew it.
And he's like, what? Why are they saying that? He's like, you know, it's like my friend now. He's like, no, it's an insult. All little boys know that. He's like, no, well, now it's you know, it's to say like, yeah, you're my friend. And throughout the movie, Hitler repeatedly yells out, hey, to like groups of people. And they're like, what?
But the thing that I wrote down that's a quote from the movie, actually. It's not really a quote, but there were two words that Sawatsky linked together for the N-word. He referred to it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Which, amongst other things, which I thought was kind of funny. But then later in the film, we also have the comedy show that Hitler's on where it has the original host who regularly does blackface.
Yeah.
And if Germany's okay with that, I'm not surprised that it would have Hitler up on there and whatever else.
You know what? It was actually pretty funny. The scene where the host of the show is literally like, listen, I don't think Hitler is really a good idea. You know, he might distract from the audience, might be a bit too much, as he's putting on blackface.
Yeah. He's talking about how wrong and how you know, poor it would be, and then meanwhile,
as he's dressing up as Obama.
Trying to look like President Obama, yeah. But anyway, so obviously we're going back to this dog video, and that gets released, and the TV company, you know, shuts him down, doesn't want anything to do with him. The head woman gets fired, and now we have the bald guy in charge, who hasn't liked him since the very beginning.
So Hitler got canceled?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Overshooting a dog, but everything else, every other horrible thing he's done, no, that's fine.
Because people don't think he's still Hitler, you know? They still think he's like some sort of satire guy. So it's not that Hitler killed the dog, it's that this random guy who looks like Hitler killed the dog.
This guy who says he's Hitler, acting like Hitler, and claims to be Hitler, killed a dog.
They think he's just method acting the whole time.
And so, 2/3 through the movie, bald guy gets in charge. He's all happy for a minute, the TV exec. Then we jump ahead 3 months later.
Oh my God.
In the storyline. We jump 3 months ahead. Their television station is in the absolute toilet. They're losing money like wildfire. Their hit-running show just got canceled. And Hitler has just written his second book, which is selling by the bucket tons.
What's
and is
his
also
book
being
called?
made into
What's his
a
book
movie.
called? It's called Look Who's Back.
That's what the book is called.
Of course.
And the book is literally everything you've seen so far.
Yes. And so that's the Hitler freakout scene. It's the bald guy in his office with the team of the TV people around him, and they're telling him the bad news. So
it is
Hitler's
legit
making a lot of money.
Shot from shot. That same scene. Is it from Inglourious Bastards?
No, it's from Downfall.
No, it's from Downfall.
Oh, okay. It's literally exactly shot from shot. The scene where he takes off his glasses and his hands are shaking, same thing. Like,
and asks everyone to leave.
Yeah, no, it's the exact same scene. It was incredible.
So they put a meme in a movie.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did. And actually, as I was reading up on this film, it was nominated to be sent over to be considered for the Oscars, but it didn't make the cut. It didn't make the cut.
I wish.
It was a contender to be sent over to be considered, but it didn't make it, unfortunately.
Not even for Best International Film.
Like, honestly, it's so good.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, Hitler's on the rise, and events transpire where Sawatsky finally realizes that this is really Hitler.
Yeah.
When he first sees Hitler and finds out about him, he has a film crew. They were filming something else. The entire reason that Hitler was in the background, and that's how they first met. So that's how they linked it. It shows Hitler get up and walk out, and so sure enough, he goes back and he looks in it and he's trying to find out what happened, and he looks at it and he sees a whole big bright light from behind a bush, a bunch of smoke, and then Hitler comes up. So then Sawatsky goes to that exact spot, which Hunter brought up earlier, which was kind of, it kind of went against the plot device purpose, but it turns out that was where he's, I want to say spawned, where he teleported to was the remains of the site of the Third Reich bunker. And so then it clicks, and he's like, he takes his role seriously. We can't find anyone else. My girlfriend's grandmother freaked out when she saw her. Oh my God, this man is Hitler. And he goes and he tries to kill him. He tries to stop him. But it was all, and he gets up, he chases Hitler, he shoots him in the face and he falls over, but it's all an elaborate ruse.
Yeah.
They're actually on the film set.
So that's
film set. They're adapting the book. And
that's
everything.
The funky part of this whole entire movie. There's a scene where Hitler's writing "Look Who's Back," and then Sawatsky takes the pictures takes the papers and he's like, this is like really weird. Sells it to like the higher up woman that used to work at the TV station. It was like, hey, make this a book, but also make a film adaptation of it. And at the end, when the end scene happens, when he shoots Hitler in the head, it like reveals as a green screen, and then everyone's done. Silicon masks are being taken off, like, because they were just like fake. They were just actors. And then, like, you think, oh, so what I was watching was just the movie. That was it. But then the guy playing Hitler is still Hitler. And then he left the building as Hitler. And then the movie ends as him as Hitler.
That's where it ends?
Yeah, and you have no idea where the this film went.
This is arguably the most powerful scene in the film is the ending, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It has him in the hoodless car. Right next to him used to be the executive, the female, whom he called the female executive of the TV studio, whom then got the rights to the book and, made a bunch of money off it. He is riding with her. And she, he compliments her and says, oh, it's very rare I meet a woman like her. She's like a conniving wolf with strength and intelligence and blah, blah, blah. And so it's kind of like an Ava Braun feel to it as they're both sitting in the car.
Yep.
But the thing that is so important in this moment is him driving through public streets in the evening. And it shows him just waving to people passing by, and the camera's recording people's reactions. And a lot of people laugh, or, a lot of people pointing and laughing, taking pictures. Some people are flipping them off.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a good amount of the people
were saluting.
Were hiling him. Some as a joke, some actually seriously, and it went to show that even in modern-day Germany now, the opinion of Hitler somehow is mixed.
Yeah. And there's this,
terrifying.
There's this line that keeps getting repeated throughout the movie.
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
History repeats itself. And it was like, that was the last thing that was said at the movie when he drives off. It was like, God, drunk me on New Year's was not prepared for that film.
I don't think drunk you's prepared for anything.
Not really, no. Maybe like Dora, but that's it.
you might be able to get through SpongeBob.
I love SpongeBob.
So all in all, the director writer was David Wendt, and Mizzy Meyer also co-wrote the screenplay. Oliver Masucci, I believe, played Hitler. So bravo to Oliver, wherever you are.
That man did not break.
My hat off to you.
Jesus.
Absolutely masterful performance. And I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10.
I'm giving
the
this
only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because there are a few moments in the movie where a couple of the characters I really wasn't buying the feeling of how they should be acting. Specifically the TV executive, especially the bald guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be referring to him as this.
No, don't worry. I wrote down bald guy as well because I couldn't remember his name.
Because he is in the movie a fair amount. Is he an important character? Sort of. He has a few moments where, he got Hitler let go, but that didn't really stop momentum. That just increased it. But yeah. Either way, there were a few moments in his scenes where I thought his character was kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
he wasn't really committed to anything.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I would have to give it a 9 out of 10. I was absolutely, enthralled, and I'm so happy I got a chance to watch it again because I hadn't seen it in years.
The word I would describe this movie, well, I guess not describe this, but I was enthralled the entire time. I do agree with that. This movie has this weird thing where, you get sucked into it, and you kind of, it's not like you necessarily, care so much about the characters. They're so deep and this and that, but, the situations at the beginning set you in for this, oh, this is, fucking hilarious, and I love this, and this is very funny. But because of that, the comedy sucks you into the story so much that when this dramatic, weird
shift,
weird shifts of reality are happening, you don't know where it is. You're already sucked in, and it's also Hitler gets beat up by neo-Nazis, and I find that hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, 9 out of 10. I'll give it that. Yeah.
He gets beat up by neo-Nazis.
Yep. Yeah, that happens in the movie.
Another quick shout out. I need to applaud.
Was he not extreme enough for them?
Nope.
I need to applaud. I forget. Unfortunately, I did not write down.
Is it because he was dressed up as a false god?
You know what? That actually could have been it, I think.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to write down her name, but the actress who played the blonde woman, she did a phenomenal job. My hat's off to her. But also, real quick before we move on, I need to mention Franziska Wolf. I believe Franziska Wolf, who played Fräulein Kromeyer, who played his secretary.
Oh, yes.
On the TV station, and she was a Satanist, but she was also light and bubbly, and fell in love with our main character Sawatsky, which was just weird considering there was probably a 10-year age gap.
Yeah.
But it was so out of character, yet for her looks, but it was so in character for who she was portraying. It was brilliant.
Everyone in that film was good, performance-wise.
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah.
It sounds awesome.
What do you think, Ethan?
Yeah.
What do you describe the movie? What do you think?
So, the title makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
But, so what you're saying is, what you just described to me.
Yes.
Is, a movie where Hitler, for somehow, some way, is time traveled into the future before he dies, or possibly he did die. I don't know.
Who knows?
And then some failing film director finds him, just thinks he's some method actor, and decides to use him for personal gain of his own. Yeah. And then Hitler starts to try and take over Germany.
And that's it. That's pretty much the film. If you were to just describe it like you've never seen the movie, but two guys on a podcast just randomly told you scenes.
Yeah, there you go. And now, without further ado,
Resident Evil, the final chapter.
We shall move on to the film that I, Jack, chose. Resident Evil, the final chapter.
Oh my god.
Which was released in 2017 and is supposedly...
Was it really?
The final... Yeah. Supposedly, the final entry in this very long, over 15, almost 20-year-old film franchise.
That should die.
That should be gone. Now, Ethan is probably going to go into the plot elements. I'm just suggesting right now, Ethan, you shouldn't waste your breath.
No. This movie doesn't deserve punches to be held against it.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what's fun, guys? I've never seen any of the Resident Evil movies, so I'm kind of glad.
You know what's funny? Neither have I. This is the only one I saw.
So I'm excited to see what the fuck's gonna happen.
Luckily, after we're done tearing this apart, after Ethan's done tearing it apart, I went on YouTube and I believe it was I can't remember I just typed in Resident Evil franchise summarized, and I watched the first thing, and it basically summarizes all the movies up to the final.
Okay, good. You got the movies, not the games, because holy fuck, just by watching this one movie, I can tell this has nothing to do with the games.
No. So, I will tell you right now, when I first watched this film back in 2017, for those of you who don't know, which nobody probably knows, for a few years, I worked at a convenience store.
I knew that.
As a rental place for movies, which in our small town, it was kind of,
that was a big deal.
It was a big deal. It was still pretty popular because a lot of people, there were still quite a few people who actually didn't have streaming services or the internet, and were kind of just, still running on, early 2000s, late 90s clocks.
Hey,
either
listen,
way,
we didn't get a streaming service until 2019, so.
So hey, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying what was going on usually.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the perks of my job was that I got to rent, free movies. I would just pick it up, I'd bring it back the next day, and that was it. And one of those movies was Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. I took a peek at it. The main star is Mila Jovovich, lovely Lilu from The Fifth Element.
Isn't her husband like the writer or director of these movies?
Yes, he is.
Doesn't he make these movies? Doesn't he make
Anderson?
Didn't he like keep making these movies to give his wife work?
Oh,
yes,
God.
he kept the franchise alive.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
He's also the guy that did Alien vs. Predator. Oh.
So here is this young Canuck, me a few years ago, holding a copy of it, thinking, I know nothing about this franchise, but let me pop it in. Before I popped it in, I watched that same summary video that I just watched again a few hours ago. And
you mean Red?
I was appalled.
Floored?
I was appalled of what has happened in the past 5 or 6 movies, I don't know, and all the convoluted nonsense. And I was just like, okay,
so
let's
don't
get
tell me
into it.
Don't tell me.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to tell you anything. So I will tell you this, however.
Okay.
The beginning of the film, basically Resident Evil: The Final Chapter in a nutshell, horribly written, barely written film where exposition is constantly being shoved down your throat.
Oh, God.
The dialogue
first, 5 minutes was narration.
Oh, God.
Yes. And this is the major point that I have to tell Ethan about, because Ethan's mind will explode into even more anger and disbelief.
Please don't tell me that when the movie starts, it's clear that she was just in a fight. Please don't tell me characters from the games were killed in that fight.
No. What I'm saying is right now is basically in the beginning, for Hunter who doesn't know, he's just listening to us freaking out. In the very beginning of the film, for the first 5 or 6 minutes, it's basically bringing you up to speed. That's already a red flag if the franchise is already expecting, okay, all these people haven't.
Hey, Jack. Before we continue, just to let you know, the next movie we're going to watch did the same thing.
Oh, God, it did.
Okay, so, Hunter, I'd like to say basically what this opening narration tells us.
Okay.
So, scientist dude created the T-virus because his daughter had, a super aging disease.
Okay.
that would make her age pretty fast. I'm pretty sure that's not why it was created in the games, but whatever.
It's not, yeah.
Anyway, it cured her and other diseases all around, like tons of other diseases. But there was one side effect. It turned people into zombies.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So then they kill the guy that made the T-virus because he wanted to shut down the company.
Yeah.
So this was my favorite. I think this was my favorite part of the whole movie. So the guy who created the T-virus is talking to the main bad guy, Isaacs, who, have you seen Game of Thrones?
I know actors.
Okay, you know the guy who's like the protector of Dany who had the dragon skin?
Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and there he's talking, and the moment he says, I'm not gonna go along with your crazy plan, Wesker just appears and puts a plastic bag over his head and chokes him out.
Oh, good old Wesker.
And then also, another fun fact of this actor, Ian Glenn, that's his name, who plays Dr. Isaacs, the most important character, he is also the main villain
of the whole series.
The masterpiece, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, starring Angelina Jolie.
Oh my fucking god.
Wait, is that the first one or the second one?
The first one, baby!
Okay, that's at least half decent.
Yes, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's delightful. I love it very much.
Then Isaacs, he then decided to make an AI based off of scientist guy's daughter when she was a little girl. I don't know why he did that.
Neither do I, but okay, I was trying to get to my point earlier. I was so close, Ethan. I was so close. This, again, the first 5 or 6 minutes are all, exposition. However, I watched the build-up. I watched the summary before I watched the film, and I can tell you right now, they borderline completely changed the whole plot.
Wait, what?
There are like 70% of the elements that were completely ridiculous that happened in the films leading up to it were cut. And I was like, these smart idiots, they didn't trust us enough. They didn't trust their audience enough to be people who were actually dedicated fans of the previous films. They were like, okay, we need to do some serious remodeling because a lot of this.
So they retconned the whole series.
They retconned a huge chunk.
In 5 fucking minutes?
In 5 minutes of the film, they retcon a bunch of their stuff that happens.
Holy fuck,
I'm going to talk about it in a bit, but either way, because I have to talk about it later. Ethan, it has to be said, some of this goes down.
Can I go with the first thing that happens in the movie?
Keith, it's going to take forever for us to get through this, so we gotta,
strap yourself in.
Yeah.
I don't have a seatbelt.
So our main character is Alice. If you don't know who Alice is, she's a character completely made up for these movies because I guess Paul W.S. Anderson didn't want his wife to play Jill Valentine, the real main character of Resident Evil at the time.
Yeah, I was
even though Jill Valentine does make appearances in the film series.
Oh, does she?
She's not in this one.
Not in this one, but Jill is. I did look into it. There's the characters Jill, Claire Redfield, and Chris Redfield.
Claire Redfield is in this movie.
Yeah.
It took me until the end of the movie to realize she was in the movie, but it blew my mind because of the fact that I had to restart the whole movie. I forgot I was watching a Resident Evil movie. So when a character showed up called Claire, I was like, oh, it's just a character named Claire. And then suddenly, there's a part where it says her last name. I'm like, that was Claire Redfield?
Yeah, see, this is where this movie gets messy because it doesn't trust whoever's watching it to know everything, but yet it has elements of people who okay, you need to have watched the previous movies, you need to have played the games to understand who this is. But it's conflicting all the way through.
Okay, so we're in Washington, D.C. after Wesker attacked Alice and her group. She's the only one alive. Okay. I don't know who the was with her beforehand. Doesn't matter. She doesn't mention any of them.
Yeah.
So the first thing she does is she walks up to a pit of just a pool of water.
Yep.
And takes a drink from it. I'm like, that's fucking dirty water. It's probably infected with zombie juice and shit.
Is she like a vampire or some bullshit?
And then a zombie bursts out of the water. But this is by the way, this is the only time this happens in the movie. In Resident Evil 5, the zombies that have the guys that have the 4 tentacle mouth things?
Yes.
For some reason, this zombie has that. But this is the T-virus. They never say any other virus. This is the T-virus strictly. But this is the Resident Evil 5 style, infected.
When did this movie come out?
2017.
Yeah.
2015?
2017.
Oh, 2017.
Yeah. Resident Evil 5 and 6 were 4, 5, and 6 had come out at that point. It was all the same virus.
Yeah, it was like 2006 or whatever they came out.
Yeah, but point is, it's like this is the only time they do this with the zombie in this movie. I don't know why. So there were like 20 cuts when she got pounced on by this zombie.
Oh god.
Every fucking action required a cut.
Jack, how'd you watch this movie without having a seizure?
That is exactly what I'm about to show you right now. So basically what happened, what I noticed very quickly, very early on, this sums it up in my eyes perfectly. Ethan might disagree.
Okay.
During the exposition scene, we're shown the first zombie, and it's one of those gondolas that's coming up, and a child is the first one to get infected, and he kills everybody on the thing. They all die on the gondola.
Okay.
And it gets up there, but that doesn't matter. What matters is how it was cut, how the dialogue was, and how the score was within that few seconds. There was music. So
holy shit! The music was so downplayed in this movie. I can't remember music.
So Hunter,
yeah,
within about this 10-30 second exposition-fueled garbage, it feels like this origin, they're trying to set it up. It looks like and sounds like a teaser or part of a trailer. The way the sound
my god,
that's like a stock sound effect. And this sensation, the sensation of it being a trailer,
they did have a stock
to be a trailer throughout the whole movie, Hunter. The whole movie in different segments, it feels like this should be in the teaser because literally there is no story this whole film. And if there is a story, you don't care.
There is a story. It's a very simple story that's dragged out. Like this movie is not just like an hour and 30 minutes. Like, you know, every shitty movie like this is. This is an hour and 40 minutes. They had an extra 10 fucking minutes to work with.
Well, yeah, there was that 10 minutes, right? The 5 minutes was to explain how everything that happened before didn't happen. And then the other 5 minutes were, I don't know, the writers jerking off, I guess?
I guess. Point is, okay, so then there's this flying beast thing. I have no idea what the fuck it is. I can't remember seeing it. If this was in the games, it was probably in 5 and 6. I haven't played 5 and 6.
It's like a gargoyle-looking ass thing.
Yeah.
Strange.
But, so she gets into a Jeep. It's a STARS Jeep. And STARS is essentially a SWAT team.
Yeah.
There's a fucking Claymore in the Jeep.
Like, just a Claymore?
And you know what's even more surprising? They went over the top to make sure that this looked like an atomic bomb went off. Like, this is Fallout level Washington, D.C.
Yeah, it looks like Fallout.
Alice finds this Jeep, and it looks like
condition.
It's fresh off the factory floor.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so she has this chase scene with this fucking gargoyle thing, and every action she does has a cut. There's a cut of her face. There's a cut of the beast. There's a cut of her, putting her... shifting the gear. There's a cut of
pedal to the metal.
Then there's pressing the pedal. Then there's a cut of her face again, and then there's a cut of the thing. And it's like in this 10-second, it had to be 10 seconds. So there's 10 cuts, 10, 15 cuts because they can't let the camera stay for more than a second.
That means that the movie's bad if they don't want to let you, look at it for more than a second.
But this is the weird thing. If you actually can figure out what the fuck's going on half the time. It's not even it's choreographed in an awful way. I've seen worse stuff. It's just edited and shot in such a terrible way. It's fucking obnoxious.
It was that whole, what is it?
When she gets the Jeep, or either right before she gets the Jeep, when she's being traced, she gets into a warehouse to search for ammunition.
This was right after she killed the thing.
Okay.
Right after she killed the thing, she goes into
Which, by the way, she killed it with a claymore, and she used the claymore not how a claymore works, and I'm really annoyed about that, but whatever.
So, we have her go into this abandoned warehouse. She's looking for ammunition. That's all she's doing. She's looking for ammo. There's no stress. There's no
I gotta find my father because his foot's gonna fall off.
For some reason, this director or cinematographer has to have, within a period of about 10 to 15 seconds of this woman just opening a container and getting ammo, there needs to have been at least a dozen different angles.
Why?
We need close-ups. We need a medium shot, boys. We need an over-the-shoulder of her opening the box or her getting the ammo.
We need a close-up.
Boys?
We need a close-up of her putting her weapon away.
good old Paul came on set and he's like, you know what would really sell this right now? You know what would be really good? If we broke the 180 rule and just did a big wide shot, I think that would make this look so good. And that's what he did.
We can't talk about how this movie is shot, or else we'd take 4 hours.
Yeah, it would take too long.
So wait, anyway, right before she goes into the warehouse, by the way, she looks up and she sees this like satellite thing. Yeah. I don't know how else to describe it. And it looks at her, and it reveals it's an Umbrella satellite looking at her. And then she walks into the warehouse. And then while she's in the warehouse, suddenly the child AI thing appears, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this child actress, I don't want to, insult her too hard because, she's a child. But they made her over-enunciate so fucking hard. Do you know what I mean, Jack?
Yeah, no. She was supposed to be the AI known as the Red Queen that the main big boss, Dr. Isaacs, put into AI, into the Umbrella technological mainframe, to help him deal with all the stuff that's going on in the world that Umbrella is part of. And it's based off the model of the daughter whose dad she killed. It's not important. There's a creepy red girl.
No, that is important. That is important.
There's a creepy red girl that glows, okay? And this entire conversation, as most of this film, any line of dialogue is terrible. It's basically direct to the point. Tell me where to go. Oh. You have to go here.
Oh, yeah.
Why do I have to go? Because you have to go this.
Okay,
How will I get there? You'll get there like this. And that's literally the whole film.
So this is what the AI tells her. It's like, all right, listen, there are only about 4,000 people left on the Earth, which, by the way, that's fucking ridiculous. And she's like, and in this amount of time, Umbrella's going to kill them all. How are they going to kill them all? She doesn't fucking specify. She just says they're going to kill them all somehow.
With the Resident Evil stuff.
That's a big problem, too. They're vague on purpose. They're purposefully vague, and they're ignorant and arrogant about it. Yeah. They're very short. Oh. And I say this with the heroes, too, because Alice doesn't talk much. Or when she does talk, it's just exposition nonsense. When she meets up with survivors later down the line, Ruby Rose's character...
No, we're jumping ahead. We can't jump ahead. Because we have to explain...
I want to because I'm in pain,
we have to explain, because the movie tells us 7 times why the AI doesn't just stop Umbrella itself.
Oh, yes, of course.
Because the AI is not allowed to hurt anyone who works for Umbrella. But the AI can tell people how to hurt Umbrella. Therefore, she is hurting someone who works for Umbrella, going against her fucking programming.
Well, it said it's it's pretty much like that. It's literally, I'm not allowed to harm a member of Umbrella, but they made a faulty error in my programming because I'm also not allowed to, kill innocent or do whatever, I don't know. Ethan's probably closer to it. I can't even remember.
Okay, so then this is pretty funny. This is pretty funny. So she starts driving. She finds another vehicle because of course she does, and she's just driving on the highway. And then she crashes. I didn't see why. I was writing down notes and suddenly she crashed. And as I've said, my legal copy didn't allow me to go backwards. But after she crashed, someone on the continuity side of things really couldn't fucking figure out if her sleeve should be down or not.
Oh God.
This just really annoyed me. Like every other shot, her sleeve was like over her shoulder, and then it was like hanging on her shoulder. It was really fucking annoying to me.
Just deep inconsistencies.
And then she sees a bike that's in perfect condition, and she starts walking up to it, and then she sees the Umbrella logo on it. And then a dude, a fucking motorcycle dude, bursts out of like fake cinder blocks, and he's pointing a machine gun at her, and then she walks back and steps into a trap that hangs her upside down she's under an overpass on a highway.
All right, hold on real quick. Hunter, have you seen the Book of Eli?
No.
Okay, never mind. Okay. But Ethan, have you seen the Book of Eli?
No.
Wait, what the hell is that movie? The Book
You're
of Eli.
pissing me off, the both of you. Shame on you.
What is
it?
Basically,
they ripped off.
Well, I know that movie.
Off a direct scene of the same angles, the same location, practically. It's literally just a crappier version, horribly cut version that almost gave me... I have epilepsy, by the way, anyone listening. That literally made me feel like I might have a seizure. And how obnoxious and how ridiculous the cuts were for any action sequence, especially this one in particular, that pained me severely. So, either way, it was at this point when I first watched this film, I was just ashamed of myself for watching this.
I'm ashamed of you too, Jack. Don't worry.
Jack, I'm ashamed of you because you made me watch this.
It needed to be addressed. I'm sorry, but it had to be. This is my least. For anyone who's listening, this is my least favorite film of all time.
Listen. This is up there, but I have no attachment to this series at all, so I don't care enough. The next movie we're going to talk about, I hate more than this movie, but I think this is a worse-made movie.
I don't really know what's going on, to be completely honest, but
I didn't know what the... Hunter, you're about the same level of confusion as I was.
Can I please...
Okay.
Can I describe
Hunter,
as to what...
Hunter, I'm gonna do my best that I can. I'm gonna do the best that I can.
Because all I'm...
It's just... In an instant. Okay? Evil corporation.
Yeah.
Wants to do a biblical rebirth of the world. It releases the virus to kill everybody.
Got it.
This one woman, Alice, our main protagonist, has abilities, and she wants to stop the big bad corporation.
But her abilities were taken away.
Her abilities were taken away. Anyway, this woman, Alice, meets up with survivors as she goes to the big bad umbrella corporation location headquarters.
No, wait, no.
Ethan, this is a very broad... No, this is a very broad... We will go back. I'm just trying to help
If you do nitty-gritties, I'm going to be like, all right, so what happened was she woke up...
Exactly.
And it's just been 20 hours of me hearing the same room situation. There's a robot, I think, and that's it.
Oh my god. Oh, I just got to a note and I'm like, oh my god.
She goes to the headquarters with her survivors. Her fellow survivors die. One betrays her, of course, or attempts to.
You know.
And then, in a nutshell, big crazy reveal happens, which no one gives a flying about.
There was one part of that I thought was cool. I will say what it is.
She defeats the big bad corporation.
What?
And she is out.
No way.
And then she releases the antivirus and somehow saves the world.
And she goes back out into the world to do what she must do.
Is there a
and
sky
to kill
beam?
all those she can't save. And that is the end. There you go, Hunter. That's the broad stroke of the entire film there.
Is there a sky beam at the end? Is there a big sky beam she's got to beat?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Okay, so after she's suspended in the air and suddenly there's like 6 guys around her.
Why is she suspended in the air, Ethan? Hold on.
Because she stepped on a trap.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Star Wars trap. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So then she somehow kills them all.
With her fucking vampire powers or whatever she has.
She doesn't have superpowers anymore. They were taken away in the last movie or something. Wait,
hold on. Isn't the actress in like another kind of similar
Underworld.
movies? Underworld, yes! I always confuse the two.
You're
exactly
thinking of Underworld, because Underworld stars Kate Beckinsale. Right now we're talking about Resident Evil with Mila Jovovich.
They look the same to me. Like, exactly the same.
I can see why you get confused. I understand.
Okay, so then, after she kills them, she gets on the umbrella bike. And the moment she gets on it, there's like a sensor thing that says like it's not an umbrella. She's not an umbrella employee, so she gets tased.
Okay.
And is left unconscious. When she wakes up, she's in a fucking APC, and she sees Isaac. And I wrote this down.
So you wrote this down one more time.
I wrote this down. She sees the evil scientist guy Isaac, and she says, "I killed you." And then she quickly comes to a realization and says, "Clone. I killed your clone." That is the fucking Rise of Skywalker levels of bringing a character back to life.
Oh my god. What?
So Ethan, just for everyone at home, what's an APC, my guy?
Oh yeah, wait, what is an APC? I just kind of accepted
Armored
that.
Personnel Carrier.
It's like a miniature light armored tank, pretty much.
Oh, a Jeep.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I was actually giving you okay. So then Isaac then has her her hands tied, and he throws her out of it. And there's like there's thousands of zombies following their APC as they're going. And she has to run behind the APC.
Yeah.
And then Isaac goes back in and he starts talking about, stupid random shit, religious bullshit. that has nothing to do with the Resident Evil games, but yeah. And oh, by the way, there's 2 APCs. This is important.
Okay. Now I care.
And then she catches up.
I'm glad they didn't catch that.
2 APCs? 2 APCs? Oh, I care now.
I'm on board now, brother.
1 APC? Nah, mate. 2? Yeah. So then she catches up to the APC because she can just run that fast.
Yeah.
And then she kills both the guards on top of it, and then Isaac comes out. And this really annoyed me because suddenly the zombies are fast enough. So before they were like a good distance behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're like halfway up the APC.
So they turned into Resident Evil 4 zombies to Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so suddenly the zombies are faster. By the way, the other APC has not seen Alice do any of this, even though I don't know why they wouldn't be watching. But they're not important. They're not important until they're needed.
Okay.
That's how this movie works. If it is unneeded and unnecessary, don't acknowledge it, even if it's there.
Wow, that's actually true for their fucking the other movies because they didn't care about those. Yeah, oh yeah, that's probably accurate.
So then Isaac comes out and she starts fighting Isaac and she kicks his ass, and then the other APC finally reacts to something and shoots at them, and she's pinned down. She's got Isaac. She's got a knife to him, and she presses a couple buttons, and then a bike shoots out of the side of it. And then Isaac yells at her, "You can't use it! It won't work for you!" So then she cuts his fucking hand off.
Do it.
And instead of just killing him right there and, just stabbing him in the throat, she then just gets on the motorcycle, uses his hand to scan the DNA, and then just drives off. And then somehow they don't shoot her. They have fucking machine guns, they have rockets, but they can't hit a woman on a fucking straight highway.
No, she's the protagonist, and there's probably like a couple more hours of this movie left.
Oh my god, and then she crashes again.
Oh.
She crashes a lot in this movie. And then she meets up with new survivors, and then it's like, these are random characters we don't know. And then suddenly, we're shown a character that Alice knows. They don't say her name, but this is Claire Redfield.
Claire?
Like there isn't a moment where Alice says Claire
Claire Redfield from
just refresh the fucking memory of the audience, because clearly she's been separated from Alice for a while.
Yeah.
Paul does not give a flying about the audience.
He really doesn't.
He really doesn't.
He just cares about making his wife
and his wife look good.
Yeah,
that is it.
It's to make his wife look good.
I mean, she does look good. I cannot deny that.
And I can't say it. Mila.
Yeah.
Mila, if Mila ever
all right, Mila
hears this or anyone, it won't ever happen. Mila, this is to you. All right, we think you are just the bee's knees.
You can do a lot better than the Resident Evil movies.
Honestly,
we had spoken to one of our professors, since we're all acting students. One of our professors who is a stunt coordinator. He claimed to have. He said he worked with you actually on this movie, and how you were willing to perform that stunt where you just left and free fell from, like, I don't know, 20, 30 stories. Mad props to you.
Yeah.
Mad props.
Honestly,
to Mila
I can't do that.
Jovovich. You bust your ass, you go girl.
And if
however, your husband has severely disappointed and infuriated me.
Yep. Anyway. So this new group of people, there's a character named Doc, and I thought Doc was a black guy.
What do you mean you thought? Like, you don't see him
well,
first,
because
or?
Every time they said his name, there was a black guy there. So I thought, oh, the black guy is Doc. That is not the black guy's name.
Oh, okay.
It was so poorly conveyed who the fuck Doc was. Doc. Oh yeah, and so suddenly Ruby Rose appears, and Jack, please explain what happens when Ruby Rose appears.
All right, so I don't remember exactly what happens when she appears. However, I will talk briefly about Ruby at the moment. So this is back in 2017. This is Ruby Rose. For those who don't know, she's an Australian actress. In 2017, Ruby Rose is hot cake. She's a hot cake. She's fresh off the presses. She's brand new. She just got off Orange is the New Black, which is a successful Netflix series. And
Mrs. Shorthair.
In 2017, at the beginning, specifically 2017, she is in 3 major blockbuster films right now. She is in Triple X, the new Triple X movie she's in.
Which was awful.
Which wasn't the best. No, she was in this.
And
which
Pitch
was an
Perfect
absolute
3.
catastrophe. And she was in John Wick Chapter 2.
Oh, yeah, she was. I forgot about that.
John Wick Chapter 2, even though she wasn't, she was kind of wasted in my opinion.
Yeah.
She played the mute.
Yeah.
And she was very effective in her role, which can prove that she can act.
And what? She was
what
Batwoman for a little bit.
From what I've seen on interviews and stories and everything like that, she's number one, she's very gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
Very gorgeous woman. She's got pretty cool. She's got her tats on, and apparently she's very, very generous, a very, very kind-hearted person. So good for her. But oh boy, and I wish her the best, especially after Batwoman, which actually she's officially left.
Yeah,
she's officially left Batwoman,
and they're not gonna retcon it or whatever. They're just gonna replace the actress.
The official reason why she actually left is just she was ready to move on. I think that was the actual official statement.
I thought it was because she nearly broke her back on the show.
That's the rumor around the water cooler, or that was the discussion anyway. The official statement, I don't know what the exact words were, but in my memory anyway, it was basically it was an agreed upon thing. She was ready to move on. The studio was okay with it because she is in the next another couple movies, and I think even a TV show coming out soon. So her career is just still booming. She's
fine. She knew that the ship was sinking, and she dropped off of it.
Now the rumors going around was that she wanted to leave because the marketing was so horribly handled for that show.
Abysmal. I never saw anything.
The show was horribly handled in general.
Okay, and I have to take your word for it because I still haven't watched any of it.
Same here.
And number two was that story of her critically injuring her back.
Yeah.
When she was on a very serious injury. That's the rumor anyway. I'm not sure if that was officially confirmed or not.
No, she said
either way.
She said.
She did?
She said she got injured on set.
Okay, well there you go. So I'm not gonna lie. If I was on a show that I wasn't really feeling too attached to, that I hurt myself on, and if I knew I could get extra work, I would be 100% all for saying goodbye. Goodbye. But anyway, so now we're back to this absolute atrocity.
Oh, I forgot we're talking about this stupid.
When we meet Ruby Rose's character Abigail,
she has a name.
Yeah, she actually has a name. Look at that. I had IMDb it, but she has a name.
Her name was said. In my notes, I just wrote down Ruby Rose every time she did something.
Yeah. So Abigail, when we first meet her, they're setting up some sort of, some traps to kill the infected, and she's operating a crane. They're making a catapult. Thank you. They're making a catapult, and she's in this crane, moving barrels, talking to Mila Jovovich's character Alice, and basically, in a nutshell, we learn everything we need to know. Well, apparently, other than her name, she's like, oh, you know what? This is basically, within a few seconds, all of this is said.
It was like 10 seconds.
I worked with my dad in a shop. I never really liked it much, though. But now I guess I'm getting the hang of it. Now I'm getting used to it. And then Alice says, well, that's pretty good then, isn't it? Or she says something along the lines like, oh, that's good. That's good. We're going to need that. And then there's awkward sound effect / audio where it's been heard a million times, where it's just like the intense generic, oh, shit's about to get real. Ruby Rose grins, and then it cuts. That's the only development we really have of her, pretty much.
Speaking of Ruby Rose, her death scene was my favorite because what kills her has the best character arc in the movie, and
that's another thing. They're going through this tunnel. And it's a giant.
No. Can we? I just wanted to say that, but like, this is important. The whole reason they're setting up this battle is to fight Isaac.
Right.
She could have killed Isaac 10 minutes ago on the fucking APC.
Yeah, not the first one, the second one, or the first one. Which one was it?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does to me.
Okay, it was the first one.
Okay, now I don't care anymore.
The first one, I'm pretty sure.
Anyway, by the way, the second one doesn't matter because it's immediately taken out in the battle because they shoot a catapult of a flaming barrel at it, and that somehow takes it out of commission.
I don't deny that movie is doing that.
Okay, so the battle starts. Oh, and this just annoyed me because this is something that like I've seen a million times, and I'm like, that's not how it works. Nail guns. You can't shoot a nail gun. It has to be pushed up against something for it to fire.
But
it's
like,
a safety precaution.
That's not fun.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's a whole safety thing, so you don't accidentally shoot someone with a nail.
Oh, that's boring.
Oh, look at that.
Can you take
that's
that off?
fun.
Anyway, this battle is so fucking stupid. So then Isaac's glorious plan is, so he had bait, just, like how he had Alice running outside of the APC earlier. He has this random lady doing that, and then he releases her. And then she runs to Alice's fortress that they've made up, and she's running, and they're like treating this really importantly. This lady has had no lines. I don't even think she was in the movie beforehand. And they're treating this so importantly, and they're like doing everything they can to save her. And they open the gates, and there's like two people there, and they're doing all they can. There's like quick cuts and dramatic. And then Isaac just shoots her with a fucking minigun, and I'm like, why didn't you shoot Claire and Doc as well?
Because
you fucking
movie
idiot.
needs to happen, Ethan. All right, we already know this.
And then I'm just thinking, Isaac stopped moving. Shoot him with a fucking catapult already.
I feel like this movie should have ended.
This movie does not need to be an hour and a half. In fact, it should have been 40 minutes long.
In fact, this movie should have just been like a YouTube series.
This movie should have been 10 minutes long.
This movie should have been like a
Ethan,
puppet show.
Are we ready to get to the turbine scene yet? I can't remember. I've deleted a lot of this from my brain.
This is why I took so much fucking notes, because I'd forget so much of this movie otherwise. But then, oh yeah, this is just another thing. Gasoline goes bad really quickly. Like, it goes bad after a year or so. Okay. This movie takes place like 10 years into the apocalypse. Somehow gasoline's working. Perfectly fine.
Zombie gas.
Zombie gas.
Yeah.
Oh god! Oh, I wrote this down. Oh my god, the Asian girl with no lines died. I'm so invested.
Oh.
Well, yeah. I am too now. Okay, so ATBs, ABCs, and Asians.
AP.
Got it.
Okay, so then, they get the zombies into a choke point, and they start dumping gasoline, down a pit. And then they light the gasoline on fire to burn the zombies. And then Alice, she zip lines to the fucking front lines, right in front of Isaac.
Yeah.
And then she starts kicking the ass of everyone. And then this random, I shouldn't say he's random because he's had at least a few lines, but there's this Asian umbrella operative. He was the driver.
Yeah.
He comes out and he starts fucking kicking her ass. And I'm like, dude, where was this guy before? He's actually good. And then somehow, so at the beginning of this fight between these two, he kicks her gun away, which is a triple barrel sawed-off shotgun. That sounds way cooler than it is, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think this movie is really that cool anyway, so.
And then she gets kicked around, and then she lands, and then it's like, oh, I beat you. And then she's like, oh, is that the best you got? You're really dumb. And then she just picks up her gun that she lost earlier and shoots him, which doesn't kill him. Because then they tie him to the back of the APC and drive it away to lead the zombies away. And I'm like, why isn't he dead? Anyway, Isaac ran away.
Wow. With this movie, I think I was listening the whole time. I think I was.
You don't know what's going on.
No, I have no clue what's going on. Like, absolutely.
Oh,
like, I know there's an ATB.
Then there's these two random, like, people that Isaac captured who just are like, yeah, we'll come along with you on this suicide mission. Because now they'll go to the Hive. That's where they're going, by the way. The Hive.
Oh, that's what it's called, the Hive. That's the main bad boy headquarters, Hunter. That I mentioned about 20 minutes ago.
Watch out for them zombie bees.
I forgot to mention the asshole who has a name, but I forgot his name. The asshole who doesn't trust Alice, and then he suddenly trusts her after they win the battle with Isaac.
Okay.
That's it for him as a character.
Oh, okay. I was expecting
And then there's a great point where Isaac calls Wesker and he's like, she's coming to the Hive. Get the security systems online. So then Wesker talks to the AI and he's like, turn the systems. Oh, by the way, Wesker's in the movie.
Yeah, I was looking up, and at least he looks like Wesker. I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Wesker's the only person that looks like their game counterpart.
Does he sound like Wesker?
Okay, so sorry if I'm slurring a lot. I'm still, recovering from my fucking dental operation.
No, we all know it's your boyfriend. We get it.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Anyway.
Did you get your wisdom teeth yanked?
Yeah, they got yanked last Thursday.
Oh, wow. Dude, only less than a week and you're talking like this?
Yeah.
Wow,
Dude,
aren't you lucky?
No, what I was told is that when I went to the dentist a couple weeks ago, he said, he asked me, your wisdom teeth are, they're going to come in and they're going to be a real problem, as they are, usually. And then he asked me, how old are you? And I said, I'm 20. And he's like, oh, that is the perfect time to get them out. That is the easiest time, it's the quickest recovery.
Yeah,
and
I've heard that. I've heard it's easier when, you're 20, you get them out.
Because your jaw still hasn't fully formed yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, continuing on. Continuing on, enough about my wisdom teeth.
Okay.
And then Wesker tells the AI, release, I want the controls to be manual. I want to be in control of the security systems.
No, Ethan, do your best impression of Wesker right now while you're doing this.
I don't know what the he sounds like. He's so generic sounding.
He sounds like this. I'm Wesker.
He just sounds like, this, because I forgot what he sounds like.
Shadow the Hedgehog, the Chainsmoker.
A stereotypical bad guy voice, kind of like this. Kind of like that beach jock mixed
Chris.
with the guy who says he's gonna bang your mom over Xbox Live.
Oh, that's him! I've been looking for him.
But I just love how it's the AI's I would be more effective at running the security systems. And then he's still wearing his sunglasses, because of course he is.
Because he's fucking Albert Wesker.
He just raises his eyebrow, and I'm like, this is the best part of the movie. This is by far and whenever Wesker is on screen, the movie gets better.
Good. That's how it should be.
So then, they get attacked by zombie dogs on the way to the hive. The asshole guy dies. I could barely tell it was him because the quick cuts, it's nighttime, and he looks so similar to Doc.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that this movie's cut terribly.
Yeah.
That's an understatement, Hunter.
I know it is.
And then we get the flashback. We get the flashback to why Umbrella did all this. And Isaac says... He says, the end of the world is coming because of diseases we can't cure, foreign countries that might start World War III, global warming, and overpopulation. So his solution is to end the world on their terms and then rebuild the world from the ashes. Oh my god, he's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
You know how I can tell that was really dumb?
Yeah.
As you were saying that, your voice started to slowly disappear into my head, and all I heard was white noise until I heard Jack's voice.
Are we in the turbine now? I'm waiting to get to the turbine.
What the fuck happened at the turbine, Jack?
We're at the turbine.
Excellent. Okay, Hunter.
Yeah.
There's this big ass turbine, and they have to sign up. They have to block these giant, sharp fans.
Okay.
Gigantic hallway.
Is it like Willy Wonka sharp fans, or are we talking minuscule versions?
No, it's fucking massive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka, got it.
Imagine you standing next to them, and then imagine 3 of you standing on top of yourself, and it's still taller than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gigantic.
School bus.
Anyway, they're trying to infiltrate. They basically got passed through there. But of course, Ruby Rose's character is behind as they all try to get past, and she's about to, oh my god, she might get chopped in half. But then Alice goes in, pulls her out.
Oh no!
And they're like,
the blades are spinning at full speed, and somehow they're able to jump through the blades and not get cut. Oh.
Yeah, Alice is Alice. That's why.
And then she'll be able to take Ruby Rose through with her.
There's a camera. After they all finally get to there's a camera, and it just says Abigail, Ruby Rose's character, flips off Wesker through the camera, and Wesker smiles and then creepily says, turbine, pulse, verity, blah, blah, blah.
No, he says reverse the polarity of the turbines.
There you go, reverse the polarity of the turbine.
I'm like, this isn't magnets, you dumbass.
So then, the turbine starts slowly moving backward, and instead of running away as fast as they can before
they stand there.
They stand there, and Alice is like, and again, that golden dialogue speech for obvious, exposition in case we don't have eyes, Oh, the turbine, it's going backwards. the air's going to start sucking through this way. And of course, the speed starts going up and everyone tries to grip onto what they can.
That's not how turbines work, by the way.
Either way. At this point, I don't know.
They're getting sucked up. They're getting
sucked up, and they're getting sucked up. And of course, Ruby Rose's character, oh no, she's getting closer. She loses her grip, but then Alice catches her. And then she loses the grip again, and now it's now she's holding onto a backpack on one end, and Alice is holding onto another backpack on the other, and she's being flung in the air, and then, oh no, she lets go. And then what should have been lightning speed, you can definitely tell it was a green screen with a terrible wire, like she's swinging like Jane and Tarzan. And it shows her...
Say that again, Jack?
It shows her...
One more time.
It shows her...
Thank you.
Get chopped into pieces by the turbine. Now, the first time I watched this film, I missed that death completely.
Okay.
We kept watching the movie.
You didn't pause it?
And I was like, wait a minute, where's Ruby Rose? And I had to rewind and go back and see how she died. Because literally, if you look away at the wrong second, you'll miss the red mist. It shows her get sucked up the Jane swing, and then it shows her get sucked up and then cut to pieces the blood. If you turn your head away for like 2 or 3 seconds to talk to somebody or you're looking at something, you miss it.
You get a drink.
No one mourns about poor Ruby Rose. No one cares. No character really does care. And the cuts are so terrible and god-awful you wouldn't be able to understand it anyway. So it is what it is, you know?
At least she looked terrified before she died.
Yeah.
I mean, that's her job.
But I'm telling you right now, that turbine's determination to kill Ruby Rose was inspiring.
Yeah.
It was the most... I was like, holy shit, they've done 2 death fake-outs, and then they finally kill her with this fucking turbine.
I mean, usually a death, takeout is kind of like, haha, you thought they were gonna die. Nope, but I'll give the movie this. They killed the person by faking out 2 times.
Yeah.
And also a quick little tidbit that I think is quite important. These blades are giant and razor sharp and put her into mist, right?
Yes.
The turbine, it was like a speck of dust. It is not out of commission whatsoever.
And then it stops
at full power. And Wesker, even though they're all being sucked in and they're all getting their strength zapped, Wesker's like, one of them's dead. I'm gonna turn it off.
Wesker turns it off. I'm not joking. I looked away after Ruby Rose died, and I missed him turning it off. I thought she somehow plugged it up with her blood and guts.
No, Wesker straight up just is like, nah, fam. I can keep letting this going. I can kill them all right here, but for the sake of the plot and what I've been told and how to act, I'm gonna have to turn it off.
I want to kick this in the face, so I might as well turn off the fans.
Oh my god. Okay. And after Ruby Rose dies, I distinctly remember hearing this. You've watched the CinemaSins video, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know that little that ding sound effect when they're like doing the everything wrong with, and it's like ding ding.
Yeah.
Ding.
This sound effect.
They use that sound effect in the movie.
Oh, okay. That's not.
It was
good.
it was fucking hilarious to me because I'm just like. It's the most stock sound effect I can think of.
Yeah, that's... Oh, God.
Okay, so then they're in these vents.
Yep.
And they're in these vents, and Wesker is fucking with them again. And then I see this guy, and I'm like, oh, right, they still have one of Isaac's prisoners. I forgot, by the way, one of them died earlier.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. But then I'm just like, I just noticed him. He hasn't had a single line. Oh, he's dead.
Oh.
Literally, as I was writing this, he died. It was so funny because they show you that he's there, then he dies.
So, okay.
So then Wesker. By the way, he had a perfect way to kill them. Where the way he killed that guy was, the floor under them opened up and then they just fell in a pit.
Yep.
But instead, he had these side things open up that sucked them in to a different room. So then Alice and the black guy, whose name is Razor.
All right.
Are just sucked in, and then they're looking around, and then Razor sees this zombie hanging there, and it growls at him, and he reels back for a second, and then it kind of it has a moment, and then suddenly a monster grabs him and bites his fucking face, and he's dead.
Oh, okay.
And then I was just very annoyed because then she picks up his gun and she somehow shoots this thing, but they made a very big point about how they didn't have a lot of ammo. In fact, Ruby Rose had the most ammo. She was the only one that said, I have a clip. Everyone else said they had a few shots at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. MVP Abigail, who we never even learn her name.
You had to look her up on the cast list to see her name.
And you know what's even better? You know how on IMDb when you look up the cast and you can usually the name of the character is even highlighted in blue?
Yeah.
So you click on it and it brings the character to their own page, kinda. Yeah, Abigail's, there's no link. It's just
Are
black
you kidding
text
me?
that says Abigail.
Oh my god.
Okay. And then she kills this jump scare monster by attaching a chain to it that's like tied to something else, and then she runs. And then the chain eventually runs out, and then, like, you know, it just digs into the monster and rips it open. And I'm like, she killed it like a dog trapped on a leash. That's the best way I can describe it.
Oh my god.
And then Doc appears, and I'm just like, oh god, is he gonna die? No, he didn't die. And then, you know, Claire's in a death box of some kind, and she gets out by opening up a bullet, using the black powder, you know, using a lighter to make an explosive of some kind. And then her foot is on the explosive as it goes off, basically. And somehow that doesn't hurt her.
Okay.
And that gets her out. And I'm just like, oh my god, what is with the logic in this movie? And then we're with Allison. Oh yeah, then Wesker is just behind a pillar, stalking her.
What? Wesker does that. He's a stalker.
I know, but it was just so funny. I'm like, just shoot her, you dumbass.
No, he likes the dramatic effect, you know? He likes the whole, like, I'm behind you and you don't know.
Oh,
and he'll like whisper something in your ear and run away.
Okay. And then I guess this is a bit of continuity in the movies, because I've never watched the other fucking movies.
Oh yeah, because continuity. Yeah.
Alice gets a flashback to this laser wall grid thing, and she's like, all right, we need to get out of this area.
Yeah.
The laser grids. Oh my god, that's such a fucking stupid sequence.
Really? Because that was one of the selling points of the first film when they made.
No, I'm talking about this movie.
Oh yeah, well, you can't win them all.
So then, you know, everyone gets in the room with the bad guy. Suddenly, there's a new Isaac. He has two hands, and he's like, "I'm the original Isaac," and I'm like, okay. Like, I don't care at this point.
Yeah, I can agree with this.
And then this old lady who is in the flashback of Isaac, you know, stating his plan to destroy the world, she wheelchairs in, and it turns out it's Alice.
Who?
Alice, you know, the main character.
Who? Oh, yeah, okay. What about her?
It's an older version of her, but not just an older version of her. She's the little girl of the scientist guy who died at the beginning.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is that supposed to mean anything? I'm actually just still very confused.
It does mean something, because that person owns 50% of Umbrella, which is why Isaac can't get away with everything.
So,
even though he got away with everything.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on. Let me try to bring him back, Ethan.
Okay.
So
I haven't been here to begin with.
I know, Hunter. Okay.
Yeah.
Umbrella Corporation, founded by two guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim and Eric. Yeah.
One guy has a daughter.
Tim.
Right?
Yep.
And the guy who had the daughter,
yep,
is the one who made the T virus.
Okay.
And it was doing good. It cured his daughter. But then it was doing bad stuff.
Uh-oh.
And he said, it's doing bad stuff. We gotta stop this.
Gotta stop
and then
this,
his bad friend, Isaac, said, no, man, we need to keep making money. But he said no. But
so they killed him.
But he said no, so Wesker chokes him out.
With a plastic bag.
With a plastic bag. And so, for some reason, after the dad dies, his ownership of the company gets passed down to his daughter. To the daughter.
50%.
So now half the company's in the daughter's hands, the other half is in the bad man's hands.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
That is who is there in present time today. The daughter, this old woman now who owns half, with big bad Dr. Man who owns the other half. And then it's the plot twist that the old girl who owns half is the original copy of our main protagonist.
Wait.
Who's a clone!
Another clone? There's too many fucking clones in this goddamn movie.
Yeah, this is Attack of the Clones, baby. And then, okay, so then we suddenly cut to Alice thinking of all the ways she can kill. It's kind of like, okay, you know, you've seen the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock movies?
Yeah, Iron Man, yeah.
Like the discombobulate.
Yeah.
We get something like that, but with Alice, where she thinks of all the ways she can kill him, and then Isaac points out like that it's like, no, none of those would work. And then we see them through his perspective where he kills her instead.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? How can they see this?
Ethan, I don't know.
Like, Jack, how can they see this? I honestly don't know.
Ethan, I can't, dude.
I'm
running on empty.
So then Wesker comes in with Claire, and then
who the fuck?
And then
Claire?
Claire Redfield.
Oh, okay.
Did you remember this is a Resident Evil movie?
Yeah, I fucking did.
Okay, so by the way, she never brings up her brother Chris or Leon once. You know, two characters who are pretty important to her.
Yeah, you know.
Sherry Birkin, that bitch. She doesn't matter. Oh yeah, the actual guy who created the fucking T-virus and the G-virus, you know, Birkin, he don't matter.
Okay.
G-virus, what's that? That don't matter.
That don't matter.
All the games lore stuff, that don't matter.
Stupid ass games. Jill Sandwich?
You're right.
Fucking Barry, he don't matter.
Barry? No. Barry, watch. Yeah,
okay,
Barry
so then old Alice then says, Albert Wesker, you're fired. It felt
and
like
then
a
he goes,
moment of the
no,
Celebrity
and then he starts
Apprentice.
melting.
Yeah, and then the AI is able to hurt Wesker, so it closes a door, and this door somehow closes and crushes Wesker's leg and chops it off.
Oh. Okay.
And then Doc, you know, who, by the way, this is very important because it's not important.
I don't feel like anything's important at this point. But go on.
Who was in a relationship with Claire Redfield, and this was very subtly told to us by the fact that Claire says, you know, I'm in a relationship with him.
Oh, very subtle. Okay.
he suddenly betrays them, and then they kill him, and then Isaac runs off, and he has the cure. He has the antivirus. I forgot to even bring up the whole reason they're doing this. They want the antivirus.
Ethan! Just end this fucking movie. Just
this
tell me what
movie's
happens.
so dumb it doesn't matter.
Do they win?
There's so much more.
Do
it's
they
so
win?
sad.
Ethan,
they
do
do
they
win, but it's so dumb.
Do
how
they
win,
win, Ethan? Do they fucking win?
Yes.
Done. All right, that's the movie.
No.
Here, I'll describe the movie now. Okay.
Ethan, we can't. I can't go on.
Underworld happened. It was pretty good. So they're like, hey, let's rip off that movie, but put goddamn Resident Evil on it. So fucking orange hair girl from Fifth Element had dual wields pistols.
Resident Evil was first. It came out in
2001.
The mid. Really? I don't know.
Let me look this up.
Yeah, you look this up.
You keep going, Hunter.
Okay, so Black Widow is in search of Albert Wesker because there's some weird little robot girl who's like, hey, I'm kind of like the boss around here, and you can't do anything because you're hired or some shit. And she's like, damn it. So she has to go hunt down this like formula or some shit to stop that. So she gets caught by two TLCs and one blows up.
So the first Resident Evil came out in 2002.
Yeah, I said 2002. Underworld came out in 2003.
Well, there you go.
So then she's walking. She finds a ragtag group of characters that you don't remember the names of, and then they go to the part where there's fizzy lifting drinks. They almost get chopped up. Albert Wesker kills Batwoman, and then the movie ends. The end.
That was the worst summary, but also the best summary.
I don't know. I think the worst summary was you guys trying to explain this movie.
I was trying my best to go scene by scene because
I know that's the worst part of it.
That's the problem. We gotta stop doing that.
No. I like doing that because you gotta understand how fucking atrocious this is from beginning to end.
Oh, I could tell because I had no idea what was going on throughout the whole entire time.
How do you think I felt? I watched it.
Exactly. I think if anything, Ethan, you did the best job you could because you described something that is so hard to watch therefore it's so hard to listen to. So,
oh, and we didn't even talk about the stupid laser grid part and all that bullshit.
Okay, that's fine. But what I will touch on now is the video of the summarization. The video of the summarization that summarizes all the other movies.
Okay.
Now I talked to my stepdad today, and my stepdad says the first 2 Resident Evils are pretty good. Everything other than that, he's really not a big fan of. The ones that he's seen, him and I aren't exactly on the same wavelength of movies, but I'll give him.
Sounds like me and my dad.
So basically, this is all the plot elements that they not plot elements, just stupid, ridiculous things that they left out of the 5-minute recap because they were smart about it. It was the only thing they were kind of smart about the entire film, in my opinion. Yeah. So, Alice is in the very first movie. She's revealed as an employee of the Umbrella Corporation. At the end of the movie, she's taken by Umbrella to have experiments run on her. Experiments get run on her. She gets powers from Wesker.
Yeah.
She decides to kick more butt.
Yeah.
And they're in Raccoon City.
Yeah.
Then, after this happens, the next film, Umbrella Corporation is trying to clone.
Is this the second
Alice.
or third?
This is the third, I believe.
Okay.
Alice is they're trying to clone Alice. Trying to clone the version of her.
So what we learned is they're cloning a clone.
Yes.
Oh
so
my God, they are!
They're cloning Alice, and it shows there's a pit. They're trying like dozens of trying to clone her. They can't do it right. Then she gets her powers taken away from her by Wesker because Wesker is the bad.
Dun, dun,
and then by the end of that movie, all the clones are dead except for a few clones that Alice takes, and then she says, "We're gonna come and mess you up."
Yeah.
Then in the 4th film, Alice and her clones go to the Umbrella headquarters and mess people up. All the clones die. Wesker goes up to her and says, "Hey, I'm going to help you now because the AI or whoever's in charge is messed up." So Wesker gives her back her superpowers. And it's like, "Let's do this, man. We're going to do this together." And then somehow along the way, she loses her powers again. Then later on, she gets her powers again. And then that was what brought us to what was the final chapter. In a nutshell. And that was the canon. That was how they let it up. That was the story.
And so now Wesker's a bad dude again?
And even the origin, he flips back. Yeah, it's weird. But either way, they also flipped the script on the origin of the T-virus. The T-virus in the old movie,
it was like a flower.
Was made by a completely different guy with a completely different daughter.
What? Was it Birkin?
No!
It wasn't Birkin.
No! Completely different person. Completely
Adam
character.
West.
Why?
They completely rewrote
They just fucking used the game's lore. The game actually has good... The first 3 games are actually like a pretty cool story altogether.
I don't know. I really don't know.
So Pacific Rim Uprising.
Okay, this was my movie. I chose this.
If I could give it a negative...
Oh yeah, wait, we have to rate
it. If I could give it a negative, it'd be -1, but since I can't, it's 0.
No, yeah, you can make it a
-1.
I will never watch this film again.
It's a 0?
You could not... You would have to pay me at least $250 to sit through this film again.
Guys, I'm giving it a 0. I actually want to give it a -1 because my totally illegal copy was so shitty.
Oh, yeah.
It was so painful to watch, but I'm so happy I didn't spend any money on this.
Yeah.
That's good. But big thing about this. Was it boring to watch?
It was sometimes entertainingly bad.
That's what I mean.
Most of the time it was boring.
Okay, never mind.
Well,
fuck that movie.
For someone like me, where at instances where I first watched this, I was just like, "Oh wow, this could give somebody a seizure if they're an epileptic," because I thought I'd take my pills, I'm invincible to this, that's fine. But then I got the same test I did back, years ago. I got the same test, similar light test, and then it to show that my epilepsy had changed, that my brain does react to it, and the medication that I'm on only suppresses my seizures and not fully prevents them. It doesn't fully prevent them.
So are you saying that Resident Evil gave you more seizure powers?
So
I was scared. I was scared to watch moments of this movie, which made me angry.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't have to cut this rapidly. You shouldn't have to do this or that. Like, I mean, Mila Jovovich, she's a good-looking woman. She's an in-shape woman. And
when she's actually
all her own stunts.
When she's actually doing this,
all these cuts.
Yeah, when she's actually doing like the fight scenes, it's like you can tell, you know, she's not doing them badly. They're just shooting them so fucking atrociously.
Yeah, it's just this movie pretty much angered me from start to finish because I went in knowing the lore basically, like a brief summary, and then for them to completely, and I thought the lore was absolutely atrocious and ridiculous on its own.
But the fact that they
watched it, and the fact that they retconned it and completely changed it, I was somewhat intrigued. I was like, okay, they're smart. They're smart. Maybe they're smarter from this. Maybe they learned. So let's watch. And I was horribly, horribly wrong.
5 out of 10.
And that's all I have to say.
Now let's go to Pacific Rim Uprising.
Pacific Rim Job Uprising. Let's go. So
one of the worst sequels ever fucking created in the history of mankind.
I wouldn't go
That's
so
not
far.
Good, boys.
I would
don't
not
like hearing that.
I would not go so far as to say it's one of the worst. I'd say it's one of the most lackluster, boring movies of all time.
No. This movie sucks so much. Every time I watch this movie, I immediately watch the first one, and I know everything wrong with it.
Now, see, here's the thing, Ethan. Do you like the first one?
I love the first one.
I don't like the first one. I've never liked both of these movies.
I don't know why you don't.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
No, because the first one has this little thing. Okay, this is the biggest problem with this movie. It's summed up so perfectly. I don't know the Jaegers. I don't know the kaiju.
I don't know. Yeah. No, that's the one thing.
Either. Please elaborate.
Okay, the Jaegers are the giant robots, and the kaiju are the giant monsters.
Done.
I can't tell you a single fucking Jaeger outside of Gypsy Avenger, and that's only because it's
the main
basically
one.
It's basically just the Jaeger from the first movie. If it wasn't named after the Jaeger from the first movie, I wouldn't remember it.
Wait, is it not the first Jaeger from the first movie?
No, the first one blew up.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh wait, I do remember one other one. Sorry, I remember Obsidian Fury, but.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so this stupid movie.
This is a ass movie. It starts exactly like Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. It has a narration by the main character to explain the lore of the last movie.
Yeah. So
Except
the main
they don't
character,
retcon anything.
The main character is
Jake,
who's played by John Boyega, and I gotta say, despite what the movie is, John Boyega always. I wrote down John Boyega is cheeky. He gives this like, well, how do I say it? Like a Lando Calrissian type vibe, where he's just kind of like this smooth riding motherfucker who just knows what to say at the right time.
Also, it's just nice to hear him talk in his natural voice.
Right? I love him with his his full-on British Cockney accent, whatever he has.
Yeah. But his character, you know how his character makes no sense in the lore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So he's the son of Idris Elba. Okay, Jack, do you know anything about the first movie?
No, I've never seen it.
Okay, so Idris Elba's in the first one and he dies. And John Boyega's character is the son of Idris Elba. Okay. He was never mentioned once, and this is very important because Idris Elba has a surrogate daughter. And so you think, he cares about her like a daughter.
Yeah.
So you think his biological son would be important enough for him to bring up once.
Negative.
Not once in the first movie. He's just here now.
I think it was a real big missed opportunity to not focus on the characters from the first movie.
Well, that kind of annoyed me because the main character of the last movie, Charlie Hunnam's character from Sons of Anarchy.
Yep.
He's brought up one time in the movie.
He was brought up once. Yeah.
You don't know what happened to him. He's not dead by the end of the first one. Mako doesn't even bring him up. You'd think Mako would bring him up.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know.
It's so fucking annoying. I hate when sequels don't bring up characters that were important to the last one.
I don't know, man.
Fun fact about Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
Sons of Anarchy. He's originally from the UK, but he moved here. He moved to the US to do Sons of Anarchy, and he lived here. And he did a movie a few years back called King Arthur.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He had to get a vocal dialect coach for him to get back his UK accent.
Whoa, because he was on Sons of Anarchy so much? Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a fun fact for you right there.
Okay, so Ethan, you know how this movie begins, where like, John Boyega's like, I'm not like my father. I like to.
He literally says, "I'm not like my father." It's said like 3 times in the movie.
Yeah. I'm not like my father. I like to take scraps from the scrap yard and I like to sell it. I don't know why this movie was not like a spy movie. You know, kind of like.
This movie has no idea what the f it's doing.
It should have been something that wasn't trying to be the first movie. That's all it was.
Okay, so they go to a scrapyard of old Jaegers, which, why hasn't this been cleaned up? It's been like 10 years.
What's a Jaeger?
The giant robots.
Okay.
Just call them robots. Robots and monsters.
Can you just call them giant robots, please?
No, that's insulting.
Why? I don't care. I forgot that they kept calling.
Ethan, you
okay,
just told me
giant
this was
robots.
the worst sequel ever made. Who cares if we insult it?
Exactly.
No,
Ethan, stop
that's
defending
insulting the
movies you
first
don't
one.
like.
Because it's insulting the first one.
No, it's insulting the second one if you keep defending it.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Ethan 0, Hunter 5, Jack 15, no 16. Sorry.
Wait a second. Hold up. You just took away points. I was
I
at 2
took away
last
points because you're wrong. So
No, you're wrong. No, f you, Hunter. You're wrong.
I'm the editor. I can make you say whatever I want.
They're robots. They're mechs. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like robot mechs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
yes, they made monsters to fight monsters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Monsters vs. Aliens.
Except good.
No, Monsters vs. Aliens is peak cinematic performance. What are you talking
No,
about?
it's not.
Yo,
No, it's
Bob?
not.
You don't
Hunter,
fuck with
I'm
Bob.
Ethan, I'm backing up Ethan with this. Monsters vs. Aliens.
No, I'm talking about the Halloween special where they fight pumpkins.
I've never seen
We're-
the Halloween special, nor do I care.
Jack just sounds so dead now.
No, I have to because my stepdad's asleep and I'm.
Yeah, I know you have to be
loud.
quiet, but you just
I'm
sound
chilling.
really quiet. You just sound dead.
So I wanna at least talk about my favorite line in the movie, which showed up like in the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
This wasn't so. Okay, I'm just gonna sum up a little bit of the beginning just to get it over with because the beginning's kind of really boring. So John
The
Boyega
whole movie's
meets
boring.
up with this little girl that makes it her own mech, and apparently if you make your own mech, it's illegal. So.
Can we
John
just call her teenager?
Yeah, teenager. So teenager, I called her Little. So John and Little both get in this mech. They get captured. They throw in jail. And I gotta say, John Boyega and little girl.
Oh, I know what line you're about to say.
John,
Because it's actually kind of funny.
they're arguing to each other, and John goes, "Your top lip and your bottom lip should meet up and become friends."
That was pretty funny.
That was a good line he said. Anything John Boyega said was really good. I'm not gonna lie. So
his character is a bit of an asshole sometimes for no reason, but you know he plays it well.
Yeah, he plays it well.
Also, my God, I hate how fucking generic the giant robots are in this movie. They all look the fucking same.
You know what? I don't care for that. You know what? You know what I really care for?
What?
So there's this thing that modern movies like to do, and I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna name this bullshit.
You're gonna coin this term?
I'm gonna coin it. Marvel humor, where you're gonna have your little.
Yeah, you mean like Star Wars?
No, because that's still Disney.
Disney Star Wars did the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, and John Boyega was in that. He's gotta keep doing that to himself, man. Jesus. John
Boyega, get a better agent because seriously, you need to be in better movies.
Yeah, honestly. So, there's a scene where I don't remember his name. It's
Scott Eastwood.
Yeah, Eastwood. So Eastwood and Boyega.
Clint Eastwood's son is in this movie.
Yeah, as your generic white guy.
He's just the former partner of John Boyega's character.
And like, okay, so they have a kitchen scene, Eastwood and Boyega.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And you know what? It was good. It was starting to be good because they were friends in the army. But John dropped out because it wasn't his thing, and Boyega has to come.
Not like his father.
Yeah, and Boyega comes back to the army because it's either going back or jail. The same thing for the little girl.
Okay, so wait, so so John's character's gay?
No. Okay,
I don't think
John's
so.
character was like he was training to be a robot pilot, but then he stopped.
Oh, okay.
Because he didn't want to be his father. So yeah, there's this really nice kitchen scene where they're both just like, "Hey man, why did you leave?" Blah blah blah, and it was like really.
They're starting to have a character moment.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting into this scene, and then it was ruined by non-humor.
Is it when John Boyega starts spraying the whipped cream?
Yeah, where every time Eastwood tried to say something,
it was so fucking annoying.
This movie is riddled by non-humor, where it's humor but it's not funny.
It just derails the conversation.
Yeah. So, the only two characters I remember from the first movie are the crippled scientist and Charlie Day. And they're back. I'm gonna be nice. I need to look up this guy's actor, because I love him.
Yeah, he's good.
Gorman? I love this man so much.
Yeah, he's really good.
I've seen him in comedies, and he's just... He brings a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I love him. He's so good.
Yeah, I was just confirming for Jack.
Yeah, and he brings...
Dean Goldman?
Byrne, yeah.
Byrne Goldman. Oh.
Yeah, Burngoorman.
Oh, Gorman.
Yeah,
oh,
Gorman.
I thought you said Goldman.
No. Anyway, so he's in it. He gives his all. I love him.
Charlie Day gives his all, but...
No, you know what Charlie Day gives? A Justin Hammer performance. How the fuck was that a joke?
So you're saying he gives his all?
Yeah, pretty much. I think both of them were maybe the highlights of the movie. If you were like...
They were the highlights of the movie.
They were.
Because they were the only time I was slightly invested, because they were characters from the first movie, and they weren't killed off after 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Because, that's a great idea. Hey, you know what people love? Bringing a character back from the first movie and then killing them off instantly.
Also, the green screen, surprisingly... Now, I'm going to give this movie some credit.
The effects would look worse than the first movie.
The fight scenes, like the big robot fight scenes, they're okay.
It's so bad.
No, hold on, Ethan.
It's so
bad. I'm saying the CGI itself. When it's the fight scenes, they look good enough to the point where I'm like, I know what I'm looking at.
I don't care. But it's just so badly done. But it's so uninteresting to watch. Because every time something actually fucking happens with these giant robots, they cut to the inside and show holograms of what's happening. I don't care about the people reacting to this shit happening. I don't care about these holograms of them inside the robot showing what's happening. Show me what's happening on the outside, for fuck's sake. It's not rocket science.
Ethan, you and me are fans of Godzilla, so we know a good monster movie fight when we see one. And that's a lot of wide angles, that's a lot of shit breaking into things, and not stuff where it's like...
A creature feature, that's what they called them actually on Netflix, when the Meg got put on there.
But that's a giant monster movie.
If people are gonna... Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you said that this was Monsters vs. Monsters at the beginning.
Monsters versus robots, yes.
You did say Monsters versus Monsters, Ethan.
They literally said, we created monsters to fight monsters.
Stop quoting this terrible movie, Ethan, please.
No, that's the first movie.
Well, I don't like the first movie, so I'm still gonna stand by my thing.
So, bear with me. When you pay money to see giant things fight each other, that's what you want, am I right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why you bought your ticket.
Yeah.
So when you do not get that,
it's a bad movie.
That is bad.
Yeah.
That is not what you paid for.
Because you know what the first movie did? In the first 5 minutes, we have a fight scene between a robot and a monster.
Yeah, but I couldn't see it.
I could.
Well, it was at night. Give this movie some credit. It was in day the whole time.
Hunter, I could tell what's going on.
Yeah, I could tell what's going on, not the first one. It was like 2014 Godzilla all over again.
No, 2014 Godzilla is so fucking dark, I can't see anything.
Yeah, same thing with the first
Jaeger bomb Pacific Rim 1 is actually shot well. It's shot in a way where the things actually feel like they have weight, and when they hit each other, it feels like they actually hit each other. In this movie, when they hit each other, it just feels like... It feels like two inanimate objects slapping each other with no weight behind them. They look so tiny.
It's like Oblivion combat.
Yeah. It's just like they sort of just slap each other, and that's it. It's so boring to watch.
This movie has a plot. This movie has characters, and this movie has a start and an end.
It does?
But all that I don't care about, because there was one thing that was just seeping into my mind this whole time once it was brought up once.
What?
So, for the little cadets that are training to be the big robot pilot guys, they have this machine where you can hook up...
Are you talking about the brain in the jar?
Ethan, let me get to it.
Yeah, the brain in the jar.
Ethan, let me get to it.
Yeah.
So, there's this machine where you hook yourself up to it, and with the robots, you need 2 people to hook up to them, and that's just how it is.
Because the robot's too big for a single brain to be controlled by, so you have to have 2 people basically link their brains together so they're synced up.
You gotta merge the brains, which, that's fine, whatever. But, who the f*** is Sarah? There's a brain in a jar that people train with. Yeah. But what I want to know is...
Did they cure death?
No. Here's the thing. Because they said that there was some throwaway line that Sarah was like... She, like, offered to do this or some shit. I want to see the movie where she's like, I'm bored of life. Yeah, take my brain out. Like, That was the one thing that kept
Was this an organ donor situation?
I think this was a suicide that no one saw coming. And they just accepted it, you know? It's so weird.
All right.
Let's see. What the hell happens in this movie?
Okay, so you know what? Okay, then.
Oh yeah, Charlie Day fucks Monster Brain. I forgot about that.
Well, that happened in the first movie, but he does it more.
Yeah, more.
Oh, wait. I want to make one joke, because so the little robot that the teenager built.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Ben 10?
Yeah.
Remember Cannon? Remember the rolling the cannon bolt?
Yeah, it was the same thing.
That's exactly what she made.
Yeah, which is cool. I thought that was a really cool design for a robot.
And it's like, this is what I said when I saw it. Man, Scrapper's like Cannonbolt. All it can do is roll. That's a quote from Ben 10. I always remember. Oh, you stink! Oh, yeah, there's a pointless love triangle. Did you remember that?
Oh my god. Oh, you reminded me of my least favorite character in the movie, Ethan.
The random lady?
Okay, so there's this girlfriend, I think, to
possibly
Clint Eastwood. I'm just gonna call him Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood Jr.
Scott Eastwood.
Minnie Eastwood, like,
just get his name right.
Okay, Westworld has this girlfriend, and she's brought up once for John to go, I want to f that, and then she's brought up again for John to go, I want to f that.
Oh, f that.
And then the third time, she comes up and kisses both of them, and then that's it. You don't see her else for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, she doesn't even pilot, one of the robots at the end.
She was just there for John Boyega to go, I want to f that.
Oh, yeah. So then Teenager is introduced to the other recruits, and there's way too many of them. There are way too many characters in this movie. Mm-hmm. None of them get a moment to be, like, actual characters. They are just a trait.
I enjoyed the brown kid a little. He was from, like...
The boob job guy?
Yeah, I enjoyed him. I thought he did a pretty good job for what he had.
Yeah, and then there's Russian bitch.
Yep, Russian bitch, yeah.
There's Asian dude.
Asian dude. We always have to have Asian dude. Wasn't there 2 Asian dudes?
Yeah, there was an Asian dude.
Yeah, there was 2 of them, right?
There was a Russian dude.
Oh, there was Russian dude. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, and then there was Middle Eastern girl.
Middle Eastern girl? Yeah.
And I believe that was it. There might have been another.
Yeah, I think that's it, actually.
Anyway, they don't matter.
No, they don't, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then this is the plot. Wait, I just remembered the plot. Drones.
Yeah. We haven't even, like, touched on the actual plot. I just fucking realized that.
Drones.
Explain it, Ethan.
So, this Chinese lady, because they're pandering to China super hard, is like, I want to make robot drones.
And that's it.
They're just thinking of this now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
to be fair, in the last movie, it was kind of like, humanity was on the brink of extinction, essentially.
All the more reason to incorporate drone robots sooner.
Because they won. They sealed... Okay, the way that this works is that there's a breach in, there's a dimensional breach that they send monsters... That the aliens send monsters through.
Whoa. You're getting too complicated for Jackie Poo.
No, I'm
There's
explaining
a hole in the ground, and monsters come out of it. And they gotta close it.
Hold on a minute. This is an Avengers situation.
This is Avengers level threat.
Yeah, except the Avengers would get... Maybe the Avengers could take on
the only Avenger we got is fucking Crimson Avenger, whatever the hell his name was.
Crimson Avenger?
I don't... The Jaeger. What the
Gypsy Avenger.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But there is... In the first movie, there's a Jaeger called Crimson Typhoon. I remember that even though it's the first one that dies, because it has a unique design, because it has 3 arms.
So they're trying to buy drones, but they don't want drones because it will, like, get rid of everyone's job of being a robot driver.
Yeah, even though they're not at war.
Yeah. They're still lose jobs, even though they're not doing their job.
This movie is Independence Day resurgence, essentially.
Oh, it is. It really is, yeah.
It even ends the exact same way.
So, there's this, like, evil big robot that shows up out of nowhere. And then
Charlie Day works for the Asian lady who's making the drones. And this is a detail I actually liked. Charlie Day is dressed like Ron Perlman from the first movie.
Ron Perlman was in the first movie?
Yes, he's in the first movie. He's the one that...
I was Googling these while you guys were talking.
Yeah, and I like that. You know, that's how that shows how what our opinions of the first movie is. I actually remember the fucking first movie.
I don't.
Oh, and then they did a self-aware joke about how in the trailer for the first movie, they kept having the line in every single trailer. They had Idris Elba yelling, "We are canceling the apocalypse." So then Charlie Day makes reference to that line. And I'm like, they did that purely because it was overplayed in the trailers.
Oh, I was wondering what the hell he meant by saying all that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then...
Wow.
Oh, yeah, and then there's this really awkward bit where, you know, the 2 scientist guys, the cripple scientist guy and Charlie Day, are like, yeah. He's like, yeah, remember when we drifted with a kaiju brain? That was pretty crazy. And then, like, 2 minutes later, they bring it up in a natural way where he's like, I still have nightmares about what we saw. I'm like,
yeah, it was so weird. Why did they bring it up, like,
why did they bring it up the first time? The second time was perfectly fine for reintroducing the site. And it was like... us.
And it was facial expressions. There wasn't much dialogue after that. Charlie Day looks back like, oh, there's something he knows that he doesn't know. And like...
Oh, and then there's a riot going on in Sydney, Australia for some reason. And they send in a fucking Jaeger as riot control.
For some reason.
They send a giant robot to handle crowds of people. But... You know, it's nice. They still have GLaDOS voicing Gypsy.
Yeah. So, you know what? I thought that was GLaDOS' voice, but I wasn't sure, but it was. Huh.
And then a random giant robot comes out of the sea and just starts fucking shit up.
So, by this point in the movie,
nothing has happened.
I zoned out, and I was eating cereal, specifically Rice Krispies, but without milk. So, I was bored, and I looked up, what are some alternatives besides milk you can have with cereal? And I'm ready. I wrote this down. And I found an article about surprising milk alternatives to pair with cereal. Guys,
and let me guess, you missed all of this?
Are you ready to hear all these alternatives, guys?
This is more interesting than the movie.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to bring this up. Okay. Fruit Loops with watermelon vodka. Honey Nut Cheerios with straight up honey. Special K with water. Frosted Flakes with Red Bull. Rice Krispies with coffee. Lucky Charms with marshmallow vodka and Sprite. Now, those all may sound interesting, weird, tantalizing, whatever.
Did you try all of them?
Then I found out it was an April Fool's joke. Realized I wasted 30 minutes trying to find an alternative for milk and went back to the movie feeling dissatisfied. Alright, let's continue to talk about this piece of shit. Alright.
So, this pisses me off. This pissed me off. They do this twice in the movie, by the way. Where the rogue Jaeger, the rogue robot, fires missiles. Mm-hmm. And instead of them taking the missile, which does no damage to their robot, they dodge it and let it hit a fucking building.
A building, yeah. A lot of destruction of the city was dealt for no apparent reason.
And then they start fighting this rogue Jaeger, Obsidian Fury. I remember its name because it's the only cool fucking robot in the whole movie.
Yeah. It was pretty dope, actually.
And then, so they start fighting it, and then there's a point where they pull out a tractor beam, and they pick up a bunch of cars, and they just chuck the cars at them. I'm like, there could be people in those cars. You just murdered people.
I don't think the body count really matters in this movie.
This movie fucking pisses me off, because in the first one they took great detail to make sure when they were destroying Shanghai that like no one was being hurt because they were all going to bunkers. But this one, they don't do anything to make sure that people aren't dying.
Yeah.
So we're not constantly thinking like, oh my god, they're getting people killed because they're reckless and stupid. And then I'm like, why not use that tractor beam on Mako's helicopter because the Jaeger's trying to kill her?
Yeah, really.
And then she dies, and I'm like, oh my god, one of the three characters from the first movie dies. And she does nothing in this movie.
Can I talk about one thing that really bothers me between both the movies?
Yeah?
How come the costume of the Jaeger,
pilots?
Yeah, why do they look like if RoboCop took the armor of like Mega Man? Like what? Why? Yeah, can you think
the costumes look so shitty in the second one? They look like
they look shitty in general. Why do they have their forehead showing? Why don't you have like a visor?
There is a visor.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's a heads-up display.
Well, doesn't matter. Then show some shit on there. They all look like they're fucking balding.
No, that is in the first one. I remember in the first one, there's actually a proper heads-up display. This one, it took until the end of the movie for me to realize there's actually a visor. Because it doesn't look like it.
It doesn't.
And then we get to see teenager's tragic backstory, and it's so fucking dumb. She lives on a coastal city, and then she's out with her family at the pier, and then suddenly it starts raining. And then this giant monster appears, and I'm like, why weren't they warned about this? They, like, the moment a giant monster appeared in their world, they knew, and they knew where it was coming from. Why was no one warned about this?
It was like, oh my god, big monster, jump, honey, jump, and there's no sound effects, and all of a sudden, leg.
Leg takes out. It was the funniest shit.
So, just to skip ahead, at the end of the movie, there's a part where, like, both John and little girl are in the same robot, and it's just like, she has to jump to Boyega. And he's like, jump, and then she does it, and I wrote down, I was like, wow, she broke her fear of people catching her. Her character arc is complete. Yay!
What character arc?
She was scared of people catching her, Ethan. It was clear from start to finish.
Okay, so that was so stupid. And then I just thought, like, so she's having trouble drifting. Then the whole moment with Sarah and this brain in a jar happens.
Yeah.
And then John and her drift together to see if they're compatible. And that's why this whole flashback happens.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why are people with like horrible traumatic experiences allowed to be pilots when this trauma clearly gets in the way?
Because, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then this kind of annoying. This also was just like a bit of a what moment where Charlie Day, he can perfectly understand Mandarin.
Yeah.
He cannot speak it
whatsoever.
And then so Charlie Day starts fucking a kaiju brain.
Yeah. But it's a mind fuck, not like a fuck.
Yeah, it's like they like. Jack, are you still with us?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're still here and you haven't shot yourself yet.
No.
Oh, and Hunter, do you remember this little moment when they're like, where's this rogue Jaeger going? And they're like, oh, he's going to like the Arctic or Antarctica or some fucking bullshit like that.
Maybe.
And then suddenly there's snow in the shot while they're in the facility, and then it takes like a whole 3 seconds for them to transition to Antarctica. And I'm like, why did the snow come in so early? It's so awkward looking.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Shitty movies kind of fly by me. I don't.
No, I stopped to write this shit down. I have to. So then we get a Jaeger. We get robot v robot fight.
In the Arctic. I mean, that was pretty good.
This is the only good action.
I was about to say, that's
movie.
the only, because it was not like, there was a lot of wide shots. You could see what was happening. There's some clever shots where like one of the heads would go through the ice and you'd see like a water shot of him going.
It was pretty ridiculous how there was that part where they like flew out of the ice, tackled the other robot, smashed down on the ice,
and
but
not
then
went through it. Yeah.
But not break it. But then somehow one of them grabbing the other's head and smashing it through the ice breaks it. Really stupid. Yeah, and then why does Gypsy only have one sword?
So that the other one can have two.
Yeah, which it has chainsaw swords.
Yeah.
But then, remember Scott Eastwood's like, you remember our old move? And they're like, yeah, I remember. And it's the lamest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's so lame for this build-up. Explain the move, Hunter.
Okay. So, the big robot and runs up to the other big robot, and all he does is, you remember the scene from Back to the Future where Marty McFly is playing the guitar, and then he slides on the ground on his knees? Same thing.
But he cuts the other.
But he cuts him in the stomach.
He cuts the other robot.
He just does a guitar slide. It cuts him.
So then they're like they beat the evil robot, and then they rip its face off, and they see there's a drone brain in there.
No, it was a kaiju. It was a monster brain.
Yeah, it was a kaiju brain made by the drone company.
Dun dun dun. But the only problem, right? They hone on this whole thing that's like, oh my god, the drone people are evil. Oh my god. But the audience already knows from the first movie that Charlie Day is in contact with these monster brains.
Yeah.
So you already know it's him.
By the way, they just suddenly drop on us the precursors. I'm like,
yeah, what the f are the precursors?
That wasn't said once in the first movie. Where the f did you get this information from?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So then the drones are about to be unleashed across the world, a full deployment, and Cripple Scientist is like, Newton. That's actually Charlie Day's name.
Yeah, Newt or whatever. Yeah.
And he's like, we gotta stop her. And so then they break into the facility and they're beating up guards. That's actually pretty funny when they're taking on those guys.
And Crippled Boy just like beats up like 4 of them, and Charlie Day's struggling with one.
He struggles with one guy, and then I love the bit where he comes in with the gun, and then there's that one random like lady who's like, I always knew you'd go crazy one day.
You're fired.
And he's like, you're fired. Get out of here. And then Charlie Day then makes the big reveal. He's the villain.
Oh no! Dun 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 dun.
Charlie Day, why?
The quirky comedic relief is really the villain because he had, and then Cripple Scientist learns that this happened because Charlie Day, he went into the monster's brain in the first movie alone, and that's like somehow they put something in his head, but for some reason, in the first movie. Not only did they not use him at all to help them, even though they had him under their control, from what this movie says, they tried to kill him.
Yeah.
They actively went out of their way to kill Charlie Day in the first movie.
Well, I feel like they were about to kill him, and then they realized how stupid he was. He was like, "Oh, we can use this."
Yeah, I just. Oh my god! I hate
context. We need context.
It's so. It's such horrible continuity. I fucking hate it.
Yeah. You know what was the only really genuine, like, part that I actually enjoyed about this movie?
I mean, you said, like, at least 2 things you've enjoyed.
No, but, like, this was not, like, a line of dialogue or just okay CGI. There was, so there's this one big robot that controls, that needs 3 people. And the Russian chick is like in a gunner situation.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, hey, get in the gun thing and start shooting. And she starts shooting, and she looks like she's having the fucking time of her life.
She does.
And that was the best part. She looked like she was having fun.
You know what I call that robot?
What?
Bulkhead.
Bulkhead.
Because it's just Bulkhead from Transformers. It's got the fucking wrecking ball arm. It's green. It's bigger than the rest.
Ethan, you like... I remember I was watching this movie, I'm like, why does he look so familiar? Green,
it's Bulkhead.
Big ball arm. And yeah, from the 3D cartoon, right? Like,
or like Transformers animated that one from 2008.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he fucking reminded me so... Oh my god.
Yeah, it's Bulkhead.
Wow.
So then the drones turn evil because of the kaiju, the monster brains in them.
Yeah.
And then, but the drones don't just turn evil; they start growing like monster flesh.
Yep.
This makes no fucking sense.
Absolutely not.
And then these fucking giant robots that were designed to fight giant monsters fall apart like paper mache to these drones.
Nothing. They were sneezing on them and they died. Like
in the first movie, remember how much fucking punishment they took?
Exactly, yeah.
They were at the bottom of the sea floor getting their asses kicked, and they were able to handle that. They took a shockwave of the whole sea floor smashing into them. They were fine.
Yeah, in this
movie they get punched just, once or twice, they're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Rip off their arms and that's it.
So then Charlie Day runs off like a classic movie villain. And then they stop the drones because it turns out Chinese lady we thought was evil is good person.
Good Chinese lady, yep.
And so that stops the portals. But three monsters got through.
3 monsters. I'm gonna call them Binky, Dinky, and Dot.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So then they're like, well, where are the monsters going? And they're like, oh, they're all going to Mount Fuji. And they're like, why are they going to Mount Fuji? And then Cripple Scientist says, Mount Fuji has rare earth elements, and kaiju blood reacts to rare earth elements and explodes. This will cause the whole planet to, die so that they can terraform it for themselves. And I'm like, the first movie, you know where the first battle was? It was in Alaska. It wasn't anywhere near Mount Fuji. You know where the second battle was? In Shanghai, past Mount Fuji.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, I want to wrap up this motherfucking movie. So they jumped.
Can we talk about the Troll-La-La moment?
Oh, fuck, I forgot they goddamn trolled us in this fucking piece of shit movie.
You know the Troll-La-La-La-La-La-La-La song? Jack, you know that song?
Of course, who doesn't?
That was used in this movie.
Yeah, it was.
That is brilliant.
I think as a joke though, as a wink,
I know
wink,
it's
haha,
a
look
joke,
what
but
we
it's
did.
such a shitty joke.
Russian character they were all flying off to go fight the monsters, and he put it on. He's like, grandmother used to put this on to make me fall asleep, and they're all like, what? And then that's it.
I'm just thinking, that song was popular in 2011. When Battlefield 3 came out. This movie came out in 2016, 2017, something like that.
I think so.
You're fucking 5 years late, baby.
5 years late, baby. Anyway,
so then, they finally used the badass Pacific Rim theme for a shitty montage sequence.
Actually, I wanted to point out that I felt like the theme was trying to be memorable. It was trying to be yeah, you're gonna hum this out when you walk out of the theater, but I already forgot it.
I always remember it's I remember the theme.
That sounds like a Final Fantasy VII boss theme.
I don't fucking care about Final Fantasy VII.
I don't fucking care about Pacific Rim. There we go. We can agree on something.
Yeah, we have opposing opinions. It's like we're human beings. Whoa. Okay, so then they have 4 giant robots, and of course the recruits have to pilot these robots because all the actual pilots died.
Yeah.
Except for Scott Eastwood and John Boyega.
Yeah. And girlfriend.
No, she doesn't pilot any of them. She stays with.
Yeah, but I feel like she was a pilot, but they didn't want to use her because all she does is a hot piece of butt, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that's all she is.
Yeah.
So then they fight these giant monsters. All of them are lame.
Yeah, Bimpy, Dimpy, and Dot.
You got the one that redirects energy. You got the one that digs, and you got the one that shoots spikes.
Yeah.
So inventive.
I fucking hate the designs of. I like me some good ass monster fights. You got your fucking Godzillas. Your King Ghidorahs. Even your what's the turtle? What I can't think of the turtles.
Gamera.
Yeah, Gamera. I like them because they have unique designs. You can see them from a silhouette, and you'd understand what they are. These monsters look like I don't know, like Spore creations. You just put a bunch of shit together. And you put it in a movie.
So annoying because I know what the fucking monsters in the first movie. There's more monsters in the first one, and I remember them because they all have their, they all have something.
Yeah, they all glow blue.
Well, you got the one that has the literal blade head.
Once again, Ethan, I don't remember anything from the first movie. So
well, this is just telling you how much more memorable the first movie is to me because I didn't watch it this time. I haven't seen it in over a year.
I guess
you got the
same.
one with the knife head. You got the one that's the gorilla with the EMP device. You got the one that has the wings, the tail that can crush things, the acid spit. You got the one that looks like a crocodile. You got there was one lame one, and then you got the big one with the tentacles.
Anyway, so these 3 fuckhead monsters merge into one monster because of the drones that eat their flesh and merge them together to make one big super.
They don't even kill one before they fuse.
No, they just fuse just cause.
It didn't seem like they were losing.
No, not at all. So they fuse.
So they fuse because Charlie Day made drones to make them fuse.
Yeah. So the big monster kills all the little Jaeger bullshits and walks off to Mount Fuji.
But they set up a way to kill this thing. They're like, oh, this thing has 3 hearts. You got to kill the 3 hearts to kill this thing.
And I never did that.
They kill one. They cut one of the hearts, but doesn't matter.
Oh
yeah.
No.
So the first. The one with the boob job guy and the Russian dude, when it gets taken out in the lamest way, but that's the one where someone dies.
Yeah, like viciously too.
Yeah, like they just get thrown through a couple buildings and they're taken out of commission. The other one gets stabbed in the back and thrown around. One of them gets ripped in half, and then but no one dies from those. The one that gets thrown through a building, yeah, that's the one where someone dies. That makes sense.
Anyway, this is now a 2-hour and 16-minute video. I'm going to quickly sum up this goddamn movie. So, they grab a rocket, they weld it to the hand, they go rocket off into space, and they're like, alright, we're just going to crash the big robot into the big monster and kill it. And somehow, little robot that little girl made is on them, and they're like, oh my god, I can't escape.
It's drone piloted by Asian lady.
I can't escape. I can't do anything. Oh wait, we forgot that little robot's on. They go on little robot. Robot hits monster. Monster gives out a fake yell to be like, hey, I'm still alive, and then dies.
It dies. And then they have a snowball fight.
They have a snowball fight, and then the movie ends.
And then there's a sequel bait.
Is there? Oh yeah, there is.
It ends exactly like Independence Day Resurgence, where they say, yeah, we're gonna take the fight to them.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we're gonna walk over to that mother's house of the monster. We're gonna knock on the door, and we're gonna tie up the mother, make a ransom video, and say, give us $50 because I wasted 2 hours of my goddamn life watching this piece of shit movie.
You know what? There's actually one good. You know what, Hunter? There's one other thing I like. It's a decent enough callback.
What?
At the beginning of the movie, when Teenager and John Boyega are in the mech she made together, she tells John Boyega to hold on, and he says, I am, and then she says, hang on tighter. And at the end of the movie, they call this back, where John Boyega says, hang on, and she's like, I am, and he's like, hang on tighter. I'm like, this is like the one bit of like a callback where I feel like there's a bit of a relationship between these two.
4 out of 10.
No, it doesn't deserve that. It's a fucking 2. It's a 1. It's a 1 out of 10. It just barely beats Resident Evil: The Final Chapter because at least it was shot well.
4 out of 10 because it was colorful. I wasn't bored. I was just disappointed.
I was bored. I was angry. I was disappointed, and I just wanted to watch the first one.
I want to watch Godzilla versus Biollante.
Have you seen Godzilla King of the Monsters yet?
I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Godzilla Final Wars? Hell yeah.
I don't know. That one sounds good to me.
Oh, really? You didn't like Final Wars?
I mean, it's like, it's cool that the humans are fighting, but they kind of do too much human fighting.
Well, I kind of enjoyed it, because it was like, you got that big mustache guy with the samurai sword, and he was my favorite character of the movie.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
All right, so I'm done.
This movie.
Fuck
both
this
these movies.
Okay, watch the Hitler one, and don't watch the other 2 ones.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Wait, Jack.
Yeah.
Would you like to sum up the movie?
At this point,
just do a quick. Just do quick. I don't care how fast.
A quick one.
Quickie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Characters get introduced that we don't care about and that weren't mentioned before.
Yep.
We paid to see things that we didn't get to see. Robots supposed to fight monsters and fight each other.
They did, but they didn't do much of.
The nice, funny guy, the only character I like, turns out to be evil and then runs away. And then, for some reason, we have a snowball fight to celebrate our traitorous friend.
Oh!
That's the movie.
You know what I love about this? About all of this?
What? The podcast, life, the movie, me?
No,
what?
just the fact that these two movies that Jack and I chose are the most incoherent, dumbest, poorly written pieces of garbage we could have possibly had.
And I picked a Hitler movie.
And you chose a movie about Hitler.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a funny, emotional, and thought-provoking film.
Very.
Yeah.
And you picked fucking Underworld, the video game.
No, Resident Evil, the final chapter came out before it.
Okay. Silent Hill 3. And,
Silent Hill had movies.
Okay.
It did actually. They're all.
Yeah,
awful.
don't you guys remember Rachel, one of our UCP guests?
Yeah, she was in the Silent Hill
She was
movie.
in the
Oh,
Silent
yeah,
Hill
she
movie.
was one of those nurses.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
she just a dead body that was in the nude?
No, just topless, I thought.
We should
Oh, okay.
we should get her on this podcast. Let her talk about her experiences.
That'd be badass.
I mean, we could do that.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool. I'm
She
sure
is
we
pretty
could
cool.
somehow figure that out, yeah.
All right.
Jack, would you like to lead us out?
All right, well, thank you for joining us for, I believe this is our third episode
Yes,
of Quarantine,
yes, sir.
QuarinTime. I'm Jack,
I'm Hunter.
And I'm Ethan.
and again, we appreciate the attention. If we've somehow eased your pain or maybe pulled you back from that edge of complete incoherent nonsense, then
If you like hearing people yell about bad movies and talking about some good movies,
That's us, I think.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah, that
follow
too.
the Instagram page. It's literally, you just look up QuarinTime, how we spell it on YouTube. Like,
Mm-hmm.
subscribe. I feel like we have to say that or else it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but we're saying it
Yeah.
at the end of it, so
Yeah.
most people have given up already.
This is like our only time we'll say it, because I don't like...
Everybody stay healthy, stay safe. Pretty
Yeah.
please. Like, share, subscribe.
Do all
good
that
stuff.
bullshit.
Do all that bullshit.
Yeah. If you got the time,
The QuarinTime.
which you do, you all you have to do is click or tap a touch screen on your phone. You piece of shit. Anyway, anybody.
Jesus
good
Christ,
day.
Jack.
Everyone have a.
Have a great
Everyone
day.
have a great day, have a
Have
great
a
week,
fucking-
and
We'll
the time of recording this, it is still Canada Day, so happy birthday to Canada. I love living here.
We'll see you again next week.
Yes, you will.
Well,
be
you won't
talking
see us
about-
because you'll hear us, but whatever.
Okay.
You'll hear us. Finally, once again, I am Jack.
I'm Hunter, I think.
You think or you know?
I don't know.
Well, he's Hunter and I'm Ethan.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of QuarinTime
Oh, I think
And
I
we will
shit
see
myself.
you
Oh, God. Oh,
next week.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a... Oh, I found an egg in my pants.